gosh, so you're fancy, huh?
Yeah, black community activist. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
well, good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
See your eyes shine, she's my snow bunny feet. In the winter light, so she's my sweet dust of feet. Tuck to my nose, this lover's got is so raw. Make you goose, stepping out, grip out of control.
It's me against the light,
Snow bunny,
moving on the bar. Everything's alright, got that smooth soul feel.
no, that's
Can't you take the law with my snow bunny love? Been party about the night.
see your eyes shine, she's my snow bunny feet. In the winter light, so she's my sweet dust of feet. Tuck to my nose, this lover's got is so raw. Make you goose, stepping out, grip out of control.
Bunny love, it's me against the light,
Snow bunny,
moving on the bar. Everything's alright, got that smooth soul feel.
no, that's
Can't you take the law with my snow bunny love? Been party about the night.
see your eyes shine, she's my snow bunny feet. In the winter light, so she's my sweet dust of feet. Tuck to my nose, this lover's got is so raw. Make you goose, stepping out, grip out of control.
Bunny love, it's me against the light,
Snow bunny,
moving on the bar. Everything's alright, got that smooth soul feel.
no, that's
Can't you take the law with my snow bunny love? Been party about the night.
see your eyes shine, she's my snow bunny feet. In the winter light, so she's my sweet dust of feet. Tuck to my nose, this lover's got is so raw. Make you goose, stepping out, grip out of control.
Bunny love, it's me against the light,
Snow bunny,
moving on the bar. Everything's alright, got that smooth soul feel.
no, that's
Can't you take the law with my snow bunny love? Been party about the night.
see your eyes shine, she's my snow bunny feet. In the winter light, so she's my sweet dust of feet. Tuck to my nose, this lover's got is so raw. Make you goose, stepping out, grip out of control.
Bunny love, it's me against the light,
Snow bunny,
moving on the bar. Everything's alright, got that smooth soul feel.
no, that's
Can't you take the law with my snow bunny love? Been party about the night.
Today. In fact, I was going to wait to do the other live stream. I was going to do it now, but I want to break these up. I want to cover the Cynthia G interview where she interviews Umar Johnson's daughter. I want to do that. And then we're going to go head on over and we're going to, because I want to set this up because I want to try to see if we can get to the main video tonight. We may not be able to do it, but I'm going to try my best. And I'm trying to stay within the timeline. Okay. Shout out to Clutching Pearls. A lot of clutching of the pearls lately. That's for sure. How's it going, Melinda? Erica's in the building. Thank you for and Andriana's in the building as well. We back, Clayton. We back. We got plenty to get into. We're trying to get caught up on this Umar baby mama drama madness. The poll question, ladies and gentlemen, for this live stream is Umar Johnson a Buki? Simple question. It's Umar Johnson a Buki. 134 votes, 137 votes so far, 138 votes so far. 96% say yes, and 4% say no. Okay, is my lighting okay? I kind of feel like it's a little dark. Is it all right? Y'all let me know. I think it's fine. Thank you again, Cook Quartet's Undefeated. We got plenty to get into actually for today and tomorrow, because I'll be back tomorrow with some more live streams, at least one. Okay, how's it going, guys? Prince, thanks for tuning on in, and Laurie's in the building as well. And maybe the end of the road for Dr. Pookie. We're gonna see. There's people who still defending him like right now, which is incredible. You know, the bottom line, Umar, he's a deadbeat. And he knows that. He knows that. But the other poll question we had asked for the live stream earlier today was whether or not Umar was ever going to apologize for being absent in his 3 children's lives. He has 3 children, okay? And I'll say no, because he's a narcissist. Narcissists, they never apologize and they want to hold themselves accountable. Unless they may pretend to do so. If it's a way of manipulating people, they'll do it. But that's the only way that they would do it. I need to change this battery, y'all. Let me do this real quick before this battery goes out. I forgot to change it. Just to keep with the timeline, we're going to get to the Cynthia G interview, but I forgot there are 3 other videos that Umar uploaded that we have to cover to stay in the timeline, and then we'll do the Cynthia G interview with Umar Johnson's daughter. So let's start with the first one, and that's one here. I don't even think he's saying anything. I'm gonna let it play, and then I'm gonna change my battery out. I'll be right back. Here we go. Yeah, I don't even think he says anything in here. It's just people are talking about him. He gets online. It's narcissism. I think he's just wanting to see what people are saying about him as opposed to actually saying anything. Really weird behavior. He's done this before. Get online and he doesn't say anything, just stares into the camera. Yeah, I don't think he says anything. Really weird behavior. It's just weird. Let me scroll through. See if he says, oh, he starts to, yeah, this is narcissism, preoccupation with their looks. I mean, who does this? He's 50 years old behaving like this. Really weird behavior. Yeah, he looking rough. He going through it right now. Plus that money done dried up. I told y'all, hit the one. I told y'all this was gonna happen. I don't think he says anything. Also, the dryer's on. Let me know if you guys can hear the dryer. If you can hear it, I'll have my son turn it off. They're drying clothes right now. Yeah, I told y'all. It's gonna get way worse than this. Watch. How's it going, Miss Old School? Got a little Prince of Southern Avenue. Power structure. See him shaking that arm? Yep, I told y'all. See that? See him shaking? Look at him. Boy, I'm telling you. Yeah, he did cut his hair. You see him shaking that left arm? The show. Well, I tell you, he don't even say nothing. It just keeps going. It's about a 4-minute video. He doesn't say anything. He's just looking at the comments because people were talking about him all over the internet. This whole situation with his daughter's gone viral. So he's just looking to see what the comments are, and ultimately he just turns it off. They're probably roasting him. Okay, here's another video right here. I don't know if he says it. Let's wait. I want to see if I don't know if he says anything. I haven't watched these ones yet. Hotel, motel living. What is he doing? Oh, he had to get him an apple. He gonna eat. Man, Umar, you a trip. Smacking. Here we go. Smack Tune Day. This guy's he's a slob. He really is. Stop smacking. You're 50, man. You're a 50-year-old man. Stop smacking. All right, I'm gonna have to skip through this. Let's see if he actually. He really is. That's y'all donations. I told you. He tries to get these. Oh my God. He tries to get speaking engagements so they'll give him a hotel. He's been homeless since 2019. They give him a hotel and some food to eat. Look at him. And he just keeps going. He don't even say nothing. Well, he may say something later. No, that's y'all's principle. He's something else. He even eats like a child, don't he? All right, let me skip through this guy. Then he gets up. He gets up and go get some water. Here he goes. Why live stream this? It's the narcissism. I don't know. I don't know. It is. It's very weird. Very weird. Yeah, he is. He's weird. He got to go get him some water. That's the donation money. There you go. Why is he doing this? Yeah, he is. He's extremely sassy. What is he doing? Why is he behaving like this? Thanks, God, little princess. He gonna come back with his chicken. Watch, a dead chicken. What is he doing? This guy. Oh, he had to go get him a glass. Okay. And very sassy. He's looking, seeing what okay. What has he got? Yeah, he running up that bill. That's that donation money. This guy. Watch this. He's such a goofy. Thanks, I got a little princess for the super chat. Yeah, he is. I don't get it. Anybody want to explain what this is? What's going on here? Really bizarre. We're gonna take it to the head. What? Don't kiss the camera. I told y'all. Yeah, just tell y'all. Hit the one. See, why even get up there and live stream? So that goes to show you this guy, he's addicted to being online. This guy would get online and eat an apple and drink three glasses of water. He'll put on some Vaseline on his lips. What kind of man does it? What man gets on there and puts on and then kiss the camera? I knew he was gonna do it. Now, if my lips are ashy, I'll go and I'll go find some much. I don't even know where it's at, but I'll find it. Probably in the junk drawer. But I'm not gonna get online and not say nothing to nobody for 2 straight videos and be eating and snacking and drinking and shit, and then put on some whatever he put on his lip and then kiss the camera. I told y'all he was gonna do it. This is y'all's principle. This is weirdo behavior. Why even get online? Why don't you just go? See, he ain't got nothing else to do. He ain't up at FDMG building nothing, working on nothing. When's the last time y'all saw him up there? He ain't got nothing else to do. See, his comfort. Whenever they call him out and bring him out to speak, his comfort. He gets to have a place to stay. It's clean in there instead of living in filth in the mama closet. He can sleep. He can sleep in there. The sheets get changed for him because he don't know how to clean up because he's a hoarder. He's filthy. They have food for him. He just order room service, eat whatever in that fridge, and then his donors' money paying for it. So who cares? See? So I tell y'all. Talk about I'm building the school. You up here eating apples and drinking and shit and kissing at the camera. I knew he was gonna do it. As soon as he started puckering up his lips, kind of man. That's Umar's message. Kissing at the screen and stuff. Weirdo. Look at him. He's 50. I don't get that. He's 50 years old. He ain't got no home training. What you got on? This guy. What kind of attire? Yeah, chapstick. That's what it was. My lips don't be getting ashy and stuff. My hands are nothing like that. I don't know. I don't know. Let me skip through because I don't think he said anything. He ain't got nothing else to do. Rubbing on himself, breathing heavy. This weirdo. He ain't got nothing to do. Look at him. All he can do is clap. Yeah, he look like he's in withdrawal mode right now. I can tell by his eyes. Up here burping and He needs to turn that heat down. Let me skip through. They probably clowning him in that chat room. I wish I could see them. Oh, he's gonna go. Here we go. We're going for another one. Here you go. Umar should just do videos like this, nothing else. Can y'all hear the dryer? Let me know. I'm looking in the chat room right now. Yeah, he don't say that for this whole video. I'm gonna skip through. Let me go and get to the end because we're supposed to be 40 minutes for this one. Yeah, he don't say nothing. Oh. You better not. Umar, you better not. Maybe it's apple cider vinegar. What does it say on there? It's reversed, so I can't really read it. I think it says, I don't know, 03 blanc. I can't read it. Anybody want to take a guess? Yeah, he is. He going through it. Somebody said RBY. Yeah, he's lonely. He's hoping someone will come on the live and talk with him. Yeah, he's sad. He's just a sad individual. But that's what happens when, when someone said wine o'clock. Anybody? Yeah, insane in the membrane for sure. He's insane. Anybody want to take a guess at what that is? This looks like it says old bird, 02 something. I don't know. I would have to reverse it. Said poor mad dog. Red Rose, is that what that is? I don't know. Yeah, let's. I don't think he's gonna drink it though. He ain't gonna drink it publicly, but he gonna drink it later. Oh, sparkling wine. Okay, Wild Irish Rose. Okay, people said Bloomington wine. How's it going, Scorpio Mama? Someone said. Okay, yeah, is that what that is? It's someone said it's where'd it go? Someone said Blanc de Blanche. Blanc. So white, Blanche, probably white wine. Let's see. Blanc de Blanche. It means white from white. It's French. It's translation from French. It literally means white from whites. Okay, I kid you not. I'm looking at it right now. It says it's typically a Chardonnay. It's wine made with white grapes. Blanc maybe. Okay, it's sparkling wine. It's a sparkling wine. All right, so Umar getting his drink on. All right. It is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, but Blanc de Blanc, that means white from white. You got to be kidding me. You can't make this up. You got the nerve to drink white wine. That's right. That's right. Sitting up here in the motel room. He ready to go too. He probably drunk that water so his stomach won't get all messed up drinking it. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, so Umar, he stated in the past he drinks wine. Okay, I think he drink more than that, to be honest with you. But that's it. He don't say nothing inside that whole video. Now we get to the video where he starts running his mouth. This is from the 10th as well because he did 3 videos in a row. Let's take a look. Then we're going to listen to the Cynthia G interview where she interviewed Umar Johnson's daughter, and then we're going to go to 2000. We're going to go to the 14th, and then we're going to end this live stream and start the next one. Okay, here we go.
Peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism. Peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism. Peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism. This your big brother, Dr. Umar Tunde, RB Jesus, Intercontinental
Yeah,
Tunde.
Scorpio said it was.
I'm heading over to.
Let's go back and look. Let's see. Yeah, but the top's on it. It looks like it's. I don't see any wine in there. You're right. Anyone see any wine in there? What is going on? It looks like it's. Maybe it's a. I don't know. It don't make no sense to me because the top's on it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see any wine in there. Anybody see Cookware chat? Anyone see any wine in there? I don't see any wine in there. Even when he sets it down. Let's see. Yeah, there's a cork in it. You can't tell? Yeah, I don't think there's any wine in there. No, there is. I saw it move. There it is. It is. I just saw it right there when he right before he puts it on the table. Yeah. This guy, he up in there drinking inside of the the alcohol. See the move right here. See that? Yeah, it moves. There's wine in there. Wow, Umar. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to it. Here we go.
Now African restaurant come out. Final meet and greet, the Last Supper, with the Prince of Pan Africanism here in Stockholm, Sweden.
Yeah, Last Supper. This is because he thinks he's the Messiah.
Much love to all my Stockholm, Sweden Africans, my Scandinavian Africans. Nothing.
Man, y'all, I don't mean to be like, I don't mean to be like this, but we have over 800 people in here, and it's only showing 45 likes. That can't be right. Let me refresh this because I know y'all ain't gonna do me like that. Hold on one second. Okay, it's 160. It's 160. I apologize. I was saying, damn. All y'all gonna give me is 116 likes. Trifle ass, black people. I'm just playing.
But love, 7 o'clock the night, Pernille African Ghanaian restaurant. Come sit and eat, chat, and chew. I got a couple books if you want to purchase one of my books. Book signing, photo. Come get your last photo. All my Scandinavian African queens, come get your last photo. All my Scandinavian African queens, come get your last photo at the Pernille African restaurant tonight, 7 until 9. Stockholm, Sweden. P-E-N-I-E-L African restaurant. P-E-N-I-E-L African restaurant. Google it. Pull up season. Final event. First trip to Stockholm, Sweden.
Yeah,
Next stop is going to be California State University, Long Beach, Black Consciousness Conference on Saturday. I said the next stop is California State University, Black Consciousness Conference, Long Beach. I said the next stop on Saturday, King Kong Consciousness is pulling up at California State University, Long Beach campus, Black Consciousness Conference for the third time, family. Where my Los Angeles Africans at? Where my Los Angeles?
Umar up here, Eastside Pyru and shit. Yeah, we up to 260 likes. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Y'all, I apologize.
Africans at? Where my Long Beach Africans at? Where my California
spitting all over the place
Africans at? I'm gonna see you Saturday. My third invitation.
Man, what in the world, this guy Umar? Why you gotta be spitting like that?
My first invitation, we broke a record. Biggest attendance ever for the Cal State University Black Consciousness Conference with King Kong. Then I pulled up a second time, and this is the third time, family. This is the third time, family. Cal State University, Long Beach, Saturday is going down. Where my FAMU Africans at? Florida A&M. Where my HBCU FAMU Tallahassee Africans? I'm pulling up again for the Black Psychology Conference.
We still got that same ringtone.
Part 2, Cal State University Part 3, HBCU FAMU Black Psychology Conference Part 2, Selma, Alabama. Selma, Alabama. with my Alabama Africans. Selma, Friday, March 21st. Huntsville, March 23rd. Selma, Alabama, Friday, March 21st. Huntsville, Africa, Sunday, March the 23rd. It's King Kong. Hit the PayPal for Black Boys, paypal.me/FDMG
He can't say Cash App no
Academy.
more.
Hit the PayPal for Black Boys, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. The restaurant tonight, Stockholm, PENIEL, African restaurant. It's a Ghanaian restaurant in Fleming's. Naya Musi, what's the name of that section? Fleming's Way? I think it's like Fleming's Way.
So what? Ain't nobody giving.
You can email panafricanevents@gmail.com. King Kong Consciousness. I got to get back to the United States and handle some domestic issues. I got to get back to the United Snakes and handle some domestic issues. I got to get back to Philadelphia and handle these domestic issues, brothers and sisters. You either with me or you ain't. No riding the fence. You either with me or you ain't. No riding the fence.
All right. So that gets us to the 10th. And then what we have next is the interview that was conducted with Cynthia G and Umar's daughter. That's the next thing up in the sequence. So let's get to that now. We got to get to that before we start the next live stream. Okay, here we go.
He is not in contact with his side of
Let's go to the. Here we go. Right here.
So
So here we are at the 14th.
So
Okay, here we go.
definitely use it as you need to.
Hi everyone. So my name is I'm 22 years old. I'm from Philadelphia. And as far as a little bit about myself, I consider myself to be a content creator / comedian. I make content on Instagram and TikTok. Aside from that, I actually want to get into education. I'm working to become an RBT, which are people that work with kids that have autism. So I'm very excited about that. And I definitely look forward to going back to school. After graduating high school, I did attend Roxborough University. I'm sorry, I attended Temple University. Roxborough was the high school that I went to. I attended Temple for 1 semester. I went for film and media arts, which was pretty cool. Unfortunately, I did attend college during COVID, so I wasn't able to be on campus. So I did stop going to school, but I do plan on going back. So that's just a little about myself.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Papa Robbie, for the super chat. For the super sticker. And that's your first super on the live. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm looking over here on this other screen. I appreciate it. And thanks for tuning on in as well. Let's keep going. Here we go.
What made you want to do content? Because as a content creator, it's definitely it's a lot more to it than they try to let on.
Yeah, so it's funny. I've always had like a very vibrant personality. If you got to know me in person, you would probably say the same. Yeah, I don't know. I love being in front of the camera. It always came natural to me. I started YouTube at 13 years old. So I've always pretty much loved making videos and being in front of the camera. Like it always just came so natural to me.
Yeah, she has charisma for sure. His daughter definitely has charisma. I have a daughter that's like that too.
As far as I'm concerned, Umar should have been taking you on his speaking engagements with him to try and train you to be able to follow on his legacy.
Well, but even if he didn't do it to follow the legacy, he should have at least been active enough to have her involved on some level. Again, if he's opening up a school in Wilmington, which isn't far from Philadelphia, you know, why didn't we see his daughters at the paint days? Why didn't we see his daughters at the block party? Why didn't we see his daughters up there when he's up there by himself, pretending to be doing something? You know what I mean? That's a really good point. That's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that, but at the bare minimum, he should have had some sort of consistent activity where we saw him engaging with his children. He has at least 3 children. But you know, the thing is that Umar, he's never been active. That's why he can't give you guys any stories. You never hear him talk about his kids. I can tell you guys stories after stories about my kids, each one of them, all 5 of them. I can tell you stories about the stories, especially the ones that don't listen now because they're too old. They don't listen. They don't listen. I can tell you story after story, you know? I can tell you about my other kids, how they're doing in terms of grades, what they need to work on, what they, all that. I can tell you their sleeping schedule, because they don't all have the same sleeping schedule. They have different sleeping schedule, what their interests are, what they like to do. I can say all that stuff, but Umar can't do that. And he can't tell you anything about no relationship either. He can't tell you no stories about being in a relationship. Didn't that tell him? What does that tell you about Umar? Well, it just shows you that it's not about committing or building anything with a woman. It's not about being present in your children's lives. It's about being a pookie and traveling the world, getting money. They're providing him with room and board, and then he can crush some cookies on the side. That's what he's been doing now for the last 2 decades. He ain't worked a job since 2010, 2011. Here we go.
To follow through with his legacy, but that wasn't an opportunity that was given to you. Instead, you were deprived of being able to be raised
Will you quit asking this shit? I'm so tired of this. You asked during the last live stream. What do you mean? What's my end game? It's not an end game. It keeps going until Umar's fully exposed and he stops exploiting black people. It's that simple. You already asked that during the last live stream. Okay? Don't ask it again. Y'all tripping. Let's go.
And now that you've come public, now you're being what I call bullied by your father. So I wanted to ask, how are you doing mentally? Because I know for me, that wouldn't be easy
real
to
talk.
do.
Real talk. Y'all gonna put some respect on my name. I don't give a fuck who you think you are. I'll be putting in work. I put in time. I put in work. I put in research. I sacrificed a lot. Y'all gonna put some respect on my name. Okay? If you're gonna come up over here, don't ask the same bullshit questions, because it's no point. Okay, if you don't know by now, then this ain't the spot for you. All right, no disrespect, but you know now. Don't ask it again. Let's go.
Like it wouldn't be easy for me to deal with, regardless to whether he was there or not. This is your father. So how do you feel about everything that's going on?
I don't agree with the response that he gave to me, as well as the response that he gave to my mother. I don't know if you recall, but he said Mama Smurf and daughter Smurf. I don't really think that was appropriate. If anything, what I would
I don't need to go home. People be getting it twisted. I'm a nice guy. I really am. I'm a nice guy. I'm real quiet too. I don't really be talking to people. William, one of my daughters, we're like that. My other daughter, she like to talk. But when I go on the show, I talk. But don't get it twisted. Okay, I'm a real quiet and patient guy, but I don't want to hear these bullshit questions. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Same thing when I hear these black men talk about, well, so the black women are like that. They're all vindictive. Well, listen, I ain't never dealt with none like that. If you pumped and dumped, don't get mad at me for calling out these black men out here who don't take care of their kids. And if you pumped and dumped on a woman that you shouldn't have been pumping and dumping on, whose fault is that? Didn't nobody force you to put your penis into the woman's vagina and then force you to ejaculate without a condom on? Huh? I don't get that. You got to get up in there, fam, and you got to get up in there raw dog style. Whose fault is that? Huh? And then not only do you ain't even got no pull-out game, you just going Trust me, I know. I got 5 kids. I know, but me and my wife, we married. We've been together. We just celebrated 24 years yesterday. Y'all can't tell me shit. Trust me, I get it. But that's your motherfucking fault. You up in you should have put a condom. You should have strapped up. That's nobody's fault but yours. And then on the end of it, then you get her pregnant. You don't want to be a part of. Oh, but you don't want to participate in the baby's life. That's on you. Huh? That's on you. Oh yeah, but she's mean and she tried to keep. Well, when you wasn't worried about all that. You wasn't worried about all that. Whose fault is that? Huh? Did she make you do that? She didn't make you do that. You did that. Strap up. That's what I tell my sons. I said, if you're gonna be smacking these cheeks or whatever these kids be saying these days. What they say? Clapping. I said, you're gonna be clapping these cheeks. You better put a condom on. Oh, Dad, please. I said, no, you heard me. I'm serious about that. See, now you men, now you in your 30s and 40s, you got all these baby mamas, you want to whine and cry like little bitches. You wasn't whining and crying like little bitches when you was up in there raw dog. What was you doing? That's what you was doing. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but be responsible. God made it that way. See? He said, thou shalt partake, and once you get to that climax, thou shalt. Okay, that's what he was doing, because he wants you to come back for more, and then you so that we can be plentiful and multiply, right? And then you're supposed to develop a bond with that woman too, because what they call the endorphins or whatever it is, there's a bond that created from that. You understand what I'm saying? But some of you men, because you are pumping dumpers, you get up in there raw dog, and you don't even know all that, and then you ain't making no bond, you ain't trying to commit, then you get her pregnant and whine like bitches afterwards. That's all I'm saying. So I want to hear no shit about no end game. Okay, we're gonna go until Umar is fully exposed and until Umar stops with the school scamming and sexual exploiting of the black women. Okay? All right. And people were saying happy anniversary. Thank you so much. I ain't mad. I'm just talking to y'all like that's how I would talk to another man. Right. TNM Slooty says, honestly, I'm just mad I can't. What are you talking about? Honestly, I'm just mad I can't attend FDMG. I was caught listening to Eminem by Dr. Umar. Umar got you listening to Eminem, and he instantly put me in the book of Negroes. He said, you better not be listening to Eminem. I said, you better not. I said, you better not be listening to Eminem. You can listen to Tupac, though, because you know Umar. Do I need to do it? I don't know if I should do it. Should I do a Cookie Crush chat? Why not? I was on a bit of a rant. I should probably take a little bit of break. So let's go ahead and do that now, shall we? Look at T-Mill.
Well, we got a bell, collar for the dreaming. And I step in this bed, that did the hoops screaming. Did it from money and alcohol, the fiend of the best five ball, and jump, and superstar. The body, the rhythm died. The college, the champion. That's right. What we do?
Hey, Kel, how you doing?
The low man. Like a slow jam. It's West Side, so you know that I'm bad down to no man. So the man, put it up on beat from Dre. To the root of the leg. Open the West Side. The back down. Show me love.
He was waiting on that show me love. He was like, you're tipping it, skipping it. Bakuna Matata. Give us free. Tipping. Show me love. All right. The man is child support and the alcohol. All right. I needed a break because I went off a little bit. I feel bad now. I feel bad. I apologize. I ain't apologizing for shit. My show. Put some respect on my name. That's all I'm saying. All right. HVAC man says, exactly. These old heads ran through everyone and now at 40 got ED. And women by 40 got Amtrak. Listen, you taking it too far. You taking it too far. But real quick, that's an important lesson too for you men. If you out here, listen, you're gonna have problems later. Always catching up to you. I ain't got them kind of problems. I have problems keeping my stuff down. To be honest with you. Me and my wife have been, I kid you not, me and my wife have been together for 24 years, and she can walk by and it's see? But you out here pumping and dumping all these women and dealing with all these women, and you're going to have some problems one way or the other. It's going to be something or a couple of things. You're going to have baby mama drama. Okay, you're going to have kids all over the place that you ain't taking care of. Some of y'all can't take care of because you're too lazy and shit. Okay? Some of y'all gonna have STDs because you're pumping and dumping and doing it wrong. Huh? Listen, I've been there. I ain't gonna lie. I've been there when I was 16, 17, me and my girlfriend. I used to just pull out. She was like, no, he's just gonna. I was done. My dad wasn't around to give me tell me nothing. I was living over her house. By the time I was 17, I was living at her apartment with her mama. Okay, so y'all, listen, I already know. But see, if you keep living like, but I was still in the committed relationship. Okay, but if you're out here running into all of these women, you're gonna have some STDs. You're gonna have baby mamas all over the place, kids all over the place. Some of y'all, your balls gonna fall off because you done contracted some of that really bad stuff. Some of y'all stuff it ain't gonna work later on. See? If that's what you want, just think about it. Is it really worth it? I'd rather my stuff last for a long to be able to. I ain't saying last a long time, but I'm talking about at least it work when I get to 50. Hopefully, when I get to 60, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to running through all these women in your 20s. See, y'all, something for you men to think about. Okay. Now, as it pertains to the staminization of it, that's a whole nother topic because I'm still trying to break my record. My personal record is about a minute and 47 seconds. I'm working on it. The last time I almost got to 1 minute and 45. I'm trying to get to 2 minutes, family. 2 minutes, 4 seconds, 5, 6, 7 seconds, somewhere around there. Okay, that's what I'm working on. All right, but that ain't my fault. That's how God made it. So that's God's fault. Okay, I'm very clear about that. I'll be trying. You men know you try to hold off. If the more you try to hold off, the quicker it's gonna blow up. You get up in there, you say, oh, okay, I'm gonna go for 5. Yes, you said your mind. Well, you better half that. Cut it in half. Cut it in half. Okay. All right. All right, that's part of my stand-up routine. I ain't gonna ever do it though, because it's way out there. Scott says, "What kind of man show me love? What kind of man show me love?" Okay. I should do a compilation. That's what I want to hear Umar say one day. Say, what kind of man? That's what I want to hear Umar say. All right. Thanks, Scott. And thanks, HVAC up, man. Got me talking crazy. I appreciate you, though. And T&M Looney as well. And then Bad Man Blackjack says, just chimed in. What did I miss? Oh, you missed a whole bunch. We did another live stream earlier. And then right after this, we're going to do another live stream. Okay. I'm trying to get set up so we can get to the main video this evening. Okay. And it's crazy. Okay. It's real crazy. Umar threatening his second baby mama that he gonna expose her if she don't produce the baby. In other words, let me see the child. See, they got some court stuff coming up here shortly, and he's on the docket for January anyway. So there's already stuff going on because she needs more money for the baby, and so she's trying to get. It's not a baby, but y'all understand what I'm saying. I got kids. I still call them baby, but she's trying to get more money to support this child, and so Umar, he's upset about that already, but he's gonna threaten her. See, she should take all that information, all of the receipts we've been covering, and take it with her to court and show the judge. See, he's an abuser. He's an abuser, threatening people and trying to intimidate. He's been doing that to people who've myself included. He's tried to do that, attempt to do that to try to get people to stop talking and criticizing him. He does the same thing. He's an abusive person. That's why the allegations of him beating on the first baby mama, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. Thanks, Bad Man Blackjack. And then Par B says, in game, I see university to prison pipe. Yeah, Umar went to college for 20 years to get into the prison pipeline. I see university to prison pipeline and prison attire into his future. Deadbeat CashApp king. Yeah. Yeah. And if he's called up, if he's brought up on any charges, I'm gonna tell y'all, well, now that I think about it, it's gonna either be IRS issues dealing with the nonprofit status and reporting to the IRS that he didn't collect money in certain years, when in point of fact, we know that he did. Okay, tax evasion. It could also be money laundering, or he gonna get caught up on some sexual deviancy shit. Watch, one of the two. Watch. Thanks, Parby, for super chat. Okay, let's go going on here. We got a little blow off, but it is what it is. I'm gonna reset the time for the next live stream. Now that we're done with this, we're gonna head on over for the next one. I already have it all set up and everything. Okay, let's get back to which video we're covering. Okay, here we are, right here.
Respected out of him is if he would have came to social media and said, you know what, I was not in your life, I wasn't present, but moving forward, I want to make a change, I want to make an adjustment. But instead, I feel like he probably did respond out of hurt, but at the same time, it's like, you're my dad, so I kind of expected more out of you. As far as mentally, I do have a great support system. I do take a step away from social media from time to time.
She's really smart. She is. I know she's gone off a couple of times, but I get that. I mean, she's 20, she's 22. You know, my older boys, they be doing stuff sometimes. I'll be like, oh, what you talk? I said, you don't know nothing about that shit, and you wasn't raised that way. Okay, Dad. But they're gonna do what they're gonna do. You know, ain't nothing I can do about it. They grown. And same thing with her, but she's very intelligent. She's very articulate, and she has some serious charisma. I got a daughter who's like that. Hey, here we go.
Because it is a lot of negativity. It is a lot of bashing. And you can only do but so much. And at the end of the day, I know who I am.
Okay, he started the St. Paul school scam in 2014. So that's 11 years. It'll be 11 years in April. So it'll be 11 years in about 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. It'll be 11 years. And that's specifically for the St. Paul's College. But he was that fundraiser, but he was collecting money going all the way back to 2009 for different FDMG related events or projects. You know, he was collecting money for a documentary because he was trying to get into the documentary game like Tariq Nasheed, because at that time Tariq Nasheed had that sewn up. He had that locked down. So, but Umar was trying to, make incursions into that space, and he was collecting money, and that's his documentary was supposed to premiere in the fall of 2014. And here we are now in spring of 2025, and the documentary is still not out. He was collecting money asking for donations still in 2022, and it's still not out. He's a con man. See? If you're going to ask for money, then you should produce on what you asked the money for. If you're going to put together a documentary, then you're going to ask for donations for it, well, then you should produce a documentary. But that's not what Umar does. Same thing with the school scam. If you're going to ask people for money for a school, then you should produce. And there's no excuse. See, remember, he conceptualized FDMG in 2004. He said in 2005 that in 2005, this is his own words. I'm paraphrasing. 2005, he started the process of building FDMG. And then we get to 2010, he makes the announcement that the school is going to open September 11, 2013. And then in 2014, he starts raising money specifically for the St. Paul's College. Okay, never put it in a bid, lied to people and said that he did, and come up with all these excuses, the white man and the government and the FBI and all this other shit. They're trying to stop me, blah, blah, blah. But he never put in a bid. And then we get all the way into 2019. He still collected money this whole time. 2019, he finally acquires these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. Never provided any paperwork in terms of purchase price, when exactly it was purchased, who's involved with any of this. Online records say $400,000. It could be much less than that. Okay. Umar never provided any receipts whatsoever. And then here we are 6 years later, and there's still no school. So again, for the St. Paul's College, going back to 2014, we're talking 11 years. But again, he said that he conceptualized this in 2004, and he started building FDMG. He started the process of building FDMG in 2005. That's 20 years. Okay. All right. Yeah, if y'all can hit the like button, I appreciate it. We got about 1,000 people in the building. Thank y'all so much for tuning on in. I appreciate y'all's presence. Okay, let's keep going. We got to make some progress here. Here we go.
And I have strong skin, thank God. Like, I've gone viral other times, so I kind of know how to handle it. But mentally, I just try to take a step away from it. I think that's good for everyone, to just take a step away, regroup, and yeah.
Because his narrative is that your mother kept him away from you. This is the narrative in the community. So I first wanted to just ask, what, if anything, what do you know about why he wasn't in your life?
So him and my mom used to co-parent in the very beginning, but after.
Okay, this is very important. So Umar was attempting to co-parent in the very beginning. However, the daughter hasn't given a specific time period. And this is the question I would ask if I'd ever had her on, or if she ever came on. Does she know when Umar, her father, stopped being present? I've heard her say in and around 10 years old. I've also heard her say something about 12 or something like that, but there may be something different. But the point is that that would be important information to include even in my timeline, to figure out how long Umar has been absent, completely absent from her life. Okay, excuse me. And if she doesn't know because she may have been too young to remember, she can ask her mom, or she can ask grandma, or her stepdad, what have you. Okay, here we go.
For a while, he stopped picking me up. So my mom had to make police reports to document this to the courts so that they knew, hey, I came to this location. He was not there. You know, I did my part. So,
yeah, see, and she would be able to produce those receipts too, if in fact she made police reports. And that's just documenting it so that if Umar's, and that sounds like Umar, don't it? He's supposed to be showing up at a particular time to pick the baby up. But then he doesn't. Well, she should document that and even put in a police report if necessary, so that when they go back to court, he can say, hey, wait a minute, he does have some visitations, but he's not even picking up the child. See, so what I'm getting at is, even then, prior to him being completely absent, it sounds as if he wasn't consistently present. He was unreliable. Okay, how far back does that go? That could be from nearly the beginning. So ain't no telling. Let's keep going.
Like I said, in the beginning, he was there, but then he stopped coming to get me. So my mom was pretty much the sole caretaker of me. What was the question again, Cynthia?
How old were you when he stopped visiting?
I was very young. If I had.
Okay, real quick, Jessica, Lenon, did you pick up on the narcissistic parenting? The golden child, princess of Pan Africanism, that's his second daughter, that what you're referring to, but it's not his youngest. He doesn't acknowledge that the youngest one, because he has three. He has three children. Okay, he has two daughters. I don't know the sex of the third one. Versus the scapegoat being the Smurf, which is his 22-year-old. Yeah, I've noticed that. Okay. Now, if the younger one of these two, which is the second out of the three children, if she ever came forth and spilled the beans on Umar, he'll trash and bash her too. I guarantee it. And you're absolutely right. Narcissists pit their kids against each other. They sure do. In fact, if they have a cult, they'll pit their cult members against each other too. Look at Nature Boy. Nature Boy had his cult. These are women, had his cult followers. He pitted all of them against each other, and they were actually fighting each other. I'm talking about not no slap fighting, not that. I'm talking about a knockdown, drag out. I'm gonna bite you. I'm gonna punch you. And they did this all on the beach. Y'all ever remember? I have it. I'll never show that shit. It was one of the most craziest shits you guys will ever see. Anyone who ever seen that, hit the one. See, but that's part of the manipulation. See, they want to keep people at odds with each other because it creates chaos. That's one thing that they will do. They will create chaos, but that's their way of controlling people. They keep people in a chaotic state, and then they're the savior. They're the three God. They're, in Umar's case, here he's the Black Christ. He's the Messiah. Even though he orchestrates all the chaos, and he ain't the only one. There's plenty of people that's done this type of shit. They'll orchestrate chaos. For one, they get off on it. But then on the second part, they want to be in control. And while everyone else is scrambling based upon their own manipulation, they're in a position of power and control. Well, that's Umar. Okay. And Nature Boy was the same thing. Boy, I tell you, Lakia, that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. I kid you not. I have it downloaded, but I would never play that stuff. It was a knockdown. How's it going, Erica? Knockdown, drag out. And the whole time Nature Boy is sitting up on high looking down while they're fighting on the beach, and he's telling them when to stop, when to start, what to do, and so forth and so on. Narcissist. Okay, it was crazy. See, and see, thank God that Umar, he don't have the organization. No, you don't want to see it. I guarantee you don't want to see it. It's crazy. Yeah, it was beyond abuse. And then to see after they were done, and to see how the women were acting, and the one that got bit like by her breast, that was sad. She was all the way broke down. You can tell psychologically he's manipulated her to the extreme. Now the other one, she was able to get up out of there. Okay. And he was preying on her. She's a lot younger, but he ended up getting her pregnant, doing all kind of freak off sexual deviancy shit. But he was doing that not only to her and his other quote unquote wives, but he was doing that to the men too. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, that's who it was. It was Velvet and Malia. Velvet got up out of Malia she's still up, because we watched the video. She's still wrapped up in this coat, even though he in jail for life. We watched the video last year where they were I think it was 3 or 4 of them that's still hanging on to this shit. And Malia is one of them. And out of all of them, from what I heard, Malia is the one that he treated the worst. See? He didn't like her, but really he didn't like anybody, but he kept chaos going. Well, that's what Umar does. He keeps chaos going. That's another reason why a lot of the people that were around back then with FDMG, all those women, they're not around anymore, because he kept them in a state of chaos too, but it was for control and manipulation and for sexual exploitation. That's why he was taking them over to Africa with the African freak off shit. He was running through them women over there. I could tell. Y'all ain't gonna fool me. I could tell. He had a harem up over there in Africa. He was over there playing with monkeys and shit. I kid you not. He had a monkey over there. So that monkey said, "You motherfucker." Yeah, but the monkey said, "You give me my banana, I'm out of here. I don't want to be around you freak diddy, P diddy freak off shit coming over here to my Africa with all this freak off talk. I don't want to." That monkey jumped back in that tree. The rest of the monkeys looking down like, look at this motherfucker right here. Anyway, that was African safari freak off. That's all that was. All right. But Umar doesn't have the organization skills to get people together consistently in one location like Nature Boy had. See, that's the big difference. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'm telling you, it was an African freak off, safari freak off, the zebras and the snakes and the elephants and all of them. Someone said the principle. but you know what? You right about that. You ain't lying. You ain't never lying right there. I never heard that one. The Prince of Pagans. He sure was. Y'all want me to pull it up? He was playing with them monkeys. That monkey said, get your big ass up off of here. That monkey grabbed that banana. Umar had the banana. He didn't want to share it. You know Umar. They gave him the bananas. They give him the bananas to feed the monkey. But Umar greed his ass. He was like, nah, I'm keeping this. This is my banana. Anyway. That's where they got that movie Zootopia from. Anyway, let me stop. He had him an African safari freak off. All right, we got blowed off. Let's go.
I had to take a guess. I want to say maybe like 10 or somewhere under there. I was very young.
What was the impact when he stopped coming around? And what did you learn about why he stopped coming around?
So because I was so young, there was only so much I could do. When I was around my dad, he tried to tell me that my mom tried to keep me away from him, which was a lie. He also made another statement, not to go on a tangent, but he stated that the two mothers of his children wanted to marry him, which I don't know. My sister's
okay,
brothers.
hold on. We gotta double back to two mothers.
Yes, he has 2 children.
Yeah, see, Cynthia G. I thought Cynthia G knew about this. He's on child support, and I don't watch her videos or anything like that. I thought she was banned, but she's back on YouTube. I mean, if she needs to receive the receipts, I could send it to her, or I would just send her the links and then give her the what is it called? Let me see here. Because I have it redacted. And really I don't have to have that redacted. It's not really necessary, but let me just dock it. Let me show y'all what I mean. I could give her I think it's this folder right here. Yeah. I could give her this. There's a docket number and there's a PACES, PACSES case ID. I can give her the case ID and she can go onto the website, and for all 3 of the baby mamas, she can pull it up. And I'm doing some research now because I found something else that could be indicative of a 4th baby mama that put him on child support, but I haven't verified it quite yet. Okay, let me take that back. I have not verified that yet. Okay, if I'm able to verify it, I'll present the information to people, and then if I'm unable to verify it, we're gonna stay with 3. Okay, but I can send her the PACES number, if that's what it's called, PACES, something like that. The docket number, she can look it up that way. You can look it up by his name, but if you look up by his name, you're not going to get the 3rd one, because you have to put in Umar A. Johnson and it'll come up, which is Umar Abdullah. Umar R is Umar Rashid, Rashid, because his full name is Umar Rashid Ibn Abdullah Johnson, and he has so many different aliases. How he appears in the system, he has different names in the system too. Okay, well, I shouldn't say that. You'll always find Umar, and then you'll find some derivative of either Johnson or Abdullah. Okay, you'll find them in the system. All right, but Umar's only he's only acknowledging 2. He has at least 3. All right, let's go.
Oh, okay. But
Yes.
oh, okay. Go ahead. Sorry, that threw me a little bit.
So he actually claimed that they wanted to marry him. My mother never wanted to marry him. I just wanted to make that clear. But yes, he tried to tell me that my mom tried to keep me away from him, which was a lie. He stopped coming to get me. So that was on him. They had a court order. He didn't follow it. And so that was pretty much the end of that. So he didn't hold up his responsibility. That was on him.
Yeah, I think y'all doing this just to make me go off. Is that what it is? Y'all would like to see me. I'm not falling for it anymore. I'm not. I'm going to just be nice and just be kind. Okay.
What do you think about him asserting that your mother and putting this out publicly after he got in the video and already admitted that he wasn't there for you?
So being that he's such a public figure, I think that he needs to be careful about the information that he's putting out, because for you to get on the internet and make lies and claims and allegations that are not true is kind of beyond me. I don't understand why my mom would want to marry a man that put his hands on her. He also claimed that I guess my stepfather was the one that put his hands on her, which that was never true. But he was domestic towards my mother, but my mom never wanted to marry him. That's a complete lie. I don't know about the other baby mom or whatever, but my mom never wanted to marry him ever. That's a lie.
So what do you think about his response, given that there's a video? There's a video of him basically predicting this. Then you come out and do what he's predicted. And then in response to you doing what he predicted, he goes on a bullying media campaign, mishandling you completely because you are his child. So there's a way that a psychologist should be handling his own child. There's a way a decent man should be handling his own child. But he's mishandling you. Quite frankly, to me, putting your mother, dog whistling to put your mother in harm's way with this trope that, you know, she kept me away from this daughter, turned this daughter against me. Now this daughter is coming out exposing me. But he already predicted this. So what do you think about the fact that he has a video out here where he predicted this, but he is now calling you a clout chaser and putting your mother in harm's way in response to it?
Yeah, real quick. This is normal Umar behavior. Okay, we've called this out for many, many years, whether it's towards the baby mamas that he claims or it's towards his quote unquote detractors. He always does this as an act of intimidation. And with me, he fucked with the wrong one. See? He really did. I'm sure that if Umar could have taken back what he did back in the day, and it's not just one thing. This guy tried to send me a cease and desist letter. I said, man, fuck you. Y'all didn't know that, huh? He sure did. Doxed my personal information, put out my home address, my phone number, told his follow. I got some text messages too from some of these crazy ass Umar followers too, by the way. See. Wait, was it? I don't know. I don't think he put out did he put out my phone number? No, he put out my address. I can't remember if he put out I think he did put out my phone number. Yeah, somebody did. Because I was getting crazy text messages. See? And then threatening to talk about he gonna have a pull-up team and a ski mask team. They're gonna pull up and all this kind of. That's where you get the pull-up team. Shout out to KKC. Umar was talking about how he had a pull-up team. That was the acts of intimidation. See, that's what abusers do. So if he's doing that to people online, what y'all think he's doing behind the scenes with his baby mamas and probably have been doing for years? See, that's why I was saying. Umar claims that he didn't know where his children, where they were living. He didn't know their addresses. Okay, well, listen, you can get people's addresses online. What are you talking about? Easy. Even back then, you can get it online easy. Okay. 2000, by the time the 2000, let's see, the child's born in 2002. By 2010, you can get people's information easy online. So you can't use it as an excuse, right? But it goes to show you he wasn't interested in being being an active participant. But the deeper question is, why didn't they want him to know where these babies was living at? Well, because they were afraid of him. Why were they afraid of him? Because he's an abuser. He's quick to rage. He has a very short temper. He yells, he screams, he curses. Yeah, and he will call them bitches. He will call them bitches. They'll talk with people offline that talked about how when Umar gets upset, he will call a black woman a bitch easy. Which I'm not surprised by, because one time he slipped up talking about he wants to do this, and then he said, I'm going to sign the bitches. I said, word? It's the one. Umar said that. You don't slip up like that unless that's in your vernacular. Have I called women bitches? Yeah, I have. Back in the day, high school in particular, I used to call my sister, one of my sisters at least, I used to call her bitch. But that's because I used to listen to the gangster rap and shit with the Easy E and that's how they was talking. Okay. Same thing going all the way back to what's his name? I can't remember his name right now. Dougie Fresh. I think he had a verse where he was saying something to bitch, something like that. And I was a real young child back then. Okay, it has influence. Now, was I right? No. Okay, But you're not gonna hear me calling no woman a bitch, and I haven't since I was in high school. Is that right? Yeah, since I was in high school. But that's still part of Umar's vernacular. Now I was gonna say I'll call Ian a bitch. I apologize. I'll call the dude a bitch. I'll sure would. Okay. But Umar, that's what he said. He said signing the bitches. And I remember one video he live from talking about, and they got fat asses. And I just want to look at it because he's a pervert. Umar Johnson fathers, how do you explain these things? You can't. Okay? Yeah, I used to listen to Dougie Fresh too much. I can still remember them lyrics to this day. I was a young kid when that came out. Lottie Dottie, we like to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody. We just men that's on the mic. When we rock on the mic, rocking like nice. Y'all, he'll just see you smile, enjoy yourself. The smoothness. When did that come out? 1985 or something like that? It's like 40 years ago or something like that. And I still remember that shit to this day. Mind control. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go.
I just think that it makes him appear more as a fraud and a hypocrite. You can't get on social media and say one thing, but you're doing the complete opposite. I will never take away from Dr. Umar's work. I think he's very.
Yeah. We've been saying this for so long. That's the thing. We've been saying this about Umar for years now, but see, now we have his daughter who's saying it. Okay. I can only imagine what the mama know. Either one of his, all three of his baby mama. I can only imagine what kind of shit they done been through with this guy. See, that's what Umar's really afraid of. He's afraid of the daughters and then this other child all communicating with each other. And then now you got the baby mamas, all three of them communicating with each other. And then they all speak out about Umar. Then it's a wrap. See, but the truth is they've dealt with Umar enough to know that he's a threat, and they're afraid of him. See? They're afraid of him. Okay. Thank you, Sal, for the super chat. All right, let's go.
Smart, very intellectual. I think a lot of people would say the same. Very smart man. I've watched multiple interviews that he has done on The Breakfast Club and on other platforms. So I'll never take away from who he is and his work. But if I looked up to somebody who did, a certain line of work, especially psychology, and they aren't in their own children's lives, it's kind of like, well, how are you advocating for this, but you're going completely against it? It doesn't make any sense. But I'll never take away from his work.
Yeah. Why now did you choose to expose him?
So the only reason why I brought it to social media was because I tried to reach out to him regarding my sister and he ignored me. I did make a video originally on TikTok and Instagram. My TikTok did get taken down, but in the video, I did state that I'm not trying to bash him and that the main motive and reason for me making that video was to try to find my sister, which I did. So I literally found her within a day. Her mother reached out to me and I am now in contact with her. So I did want a conversation out of him, which I did not get. I don't know if you guys recall, but me and him was supposed to meet up somewhere on Thursday to have a conversation, but that didn't happen because he continued to ignore me. So I just kind of let it go.
How does it make you feel when you learn that your father who abandoned you now has more children that he has robbed you of the ability to even grow up in proximity to because you had no knowledge of them?
That's crazy because they're all in Philadelphia area. I mean, it's possible that they've seen each other just out and about and just did not know that they were siblings. That's not right. See, children have a right to know who their siblings are. And Umar chose not to disclose, and Umar Johnson's daddy chose not to disclose. Jamal. And see, his Umar Johnson's daughter, Jamal's granddaughter, reached out to him recently to try to get some information and some guidance. He goes her too. He don't respond. You know why? Because he's a bitch, just like Umar. He's a baby mama creator, just like Umar. Talking about we need to save these black boys and stop killing us and all this other shit. But you're going to deny your granddaughter from knowing who her relatives are on Barbara's side of the family. You tell her that her grandmother is deceased, which is your wife who's deceased, rest in peace. And that's not Barbara. Barbara is Umar's mama, and Barbara's still alive. What kind of man? What kind of grandfather? And then when she reached out to Jamal, he don't respond. But he sure was sending me messages on Facebook with weirdo shit, weirdo bugaboo shit. I said, something wrong with this guy. I ain't never reached out to him. I ain't never reached out to Umar. I ain't never reached out to nobody. I got all the receipts on him, though. But I ain't never reached out to nobody. Nope. Not gonna do it. See? But they sure was sending, posting my address, talking about pull-up team, getting they quote-unquote goonie goons. And in the case of Jamal, sending me all these weirdo messages and shit, coming up on my YouTube when I was doing videos and people calling in, bugaboo. See? They'll run their mouth and run their mouth. But see, when it's their daughter or when it's their granddaughter, all of a sudden they quiet. See, that's bitch made. That's what that is. Talk about stop killing us. Hypocrite, just like Umar.
So I'm not sure if he was in her life, but to my knowledge, I am the oldest. And it kind
of... Tia Rivera says, Mama Oya should have blew his damn phone before. The Mama Oya. Well, we got to start with the Mama Oya, okay? Mama Oya. I say Oya. Mama Oya should have blew his damn phone before he got his big back. Got his big back online back in his daughter. For the kid. Why you do it? Now I gotta do it. Now you bring up the big back. Hold on one second. That up for the kid. Hold on one second. Why you gotta say big back? Don't do that. Hold on. This is special for Titi Vera. Here we go.
Doctor of clinical psychology and certified school psychologist, activist, lecturer, leader, teacher, professor. The list goes on. Author of Psychoacademic Holocaust, the Special Education and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys. The one and only my brother.
Peace and black power.
Make no mistake, Cleveland. Every time we put a child in special education,
this is one of the key.
That school gets paid. Special education is a business.
Here we go.
Go down, Moses.
Go down Egypt's lane. Tell, oh, Pharaoh, let my people go. Yeah.
Way down.
That's your fault, Titi Vera. There you go. He should have got his big back on. I'll play the rest of it. Here we go. This is wild.
In Egypt land, tell Pharaoh.
I see your Pan Africanism court.
Understand that the IEP is not an individual education plan. The IEP is an incarceration preparation program. The education of African children is our responsibility. Do for self, independence, African self-reliance. That's the spirit of Cleveland. Cleveland, Ohio, with some black power knowing brothers and sisters.
Pharaoh! You heard me, boy. You better let God's people go. See, I'm coming down, represent like the ghetto moles. They call me Ross.
Black power.
What that got to do with opening up a school? Anyway, you're welcome, TD Vera. Thanks for the super chat. Bob says, Umar is not that smart. He's just a good orator. Yeah, he's a manipulator. He's a master manipulator. Yeah, he doesn't strike me as being intelligent per se. Because see, intelligence, it's actionable, meaning that you're able to create something, you're able to impact your reality in a positive way. But Umar, he's homeless. He's been unemployed since 2010, 2011. He doesn't have his own vehicle. See, he hasn't been able to establish a long-standing relationship with the woman. He has at least 3 children and at least 3 baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? Intelligence means that you know how to operate in the world and be functional to where you can impact your reality in a positive way. You can create things that are positive, but that's not what we see with Umar. See, intelligence also, there's a level of organization that goes along. There's discernment too is a huge part of this, to be able to have a discernment. But part of being intelligent is to be able to organize and create step from point A, go from point A to point Z and have something create something. Umar doesn't do that. He always says he's going to do things, but he never gets anything done. See, he lacks intelligence. And the thing that he lacks the most though is wisdom. And he doesn't learn along the way. So you can get wisdom later on after you learn lessons. But Umar has not learned his lessons to date. He hasn't learned his lessons. That's why he's still in the situation that he's in right now. See, he has to scam people and manipulate people in order to survive. All this is survival mechanisms. In fact, Bob, I will propose that Umar's ability to orate is nothing more than a coping mechanism that allows him to be able to survive in the world, to run his mouth, because he can't do anything else. He's not functional. See, he's unable to do anything else. Okay, it's not that he can't, because I think that if he really got his life turned around and he got some serious mental health help, and he also made a commitment to stop scamming and scheming and exploiting Black people and leeching off of Black people, that he can actually start to create positive change in his life and create things that are positive. But he's so far away from that at this point. See, that's an issue of intelligence. That's an issue of wisdom. He doesn't have the wisdom. See, some could say that he has knowledge, but I wouldn't even say that. I think that Umar, a lot of what he says is taken from other people. Dr. Kwame Kunjufu, as an example, Dr. George Grew as another example, Dr. Amos Wilson as another example. He's a plagiarist. See, and a lot of the information that he says, especially about the school system, is antiquated. And when he talks about psychology, a lot of that is antiquated too. He hasn't worked in the field since 2010, 2011. See? All right. Yeah, but again, I would say, Bob, that his ability to orate is simply his mind's way of finding the best means of survival. And it is through running his mouth and manipulating people. Right? But non-functional in society. Same thing with Polite. He was the same way. He's what you call a functional idiot. Okay, and those are hard terms, but really, Polite, he was a functional idiot. He could memorize stuff really good, but non-functional in society. Can't find his way in the real world. Well, Umar's the same way. And I'm not being disrespectful. I know those are hard terms to use, but he's a functional idiot. See, but because he can orate, he's able to manipulate people by misrepresenting himself and having people see him as something that he's not. See, and that's how he's getting over on people, and he continues to do it to this day. All right. Thanks, Bob. Shout out to Brother Dion. Says, "What's up, bro? She's hurt. She calls him Dr. Umar, not Dad." I peep that. You don't hear her say Dad. She calls him Dr. Umar. See? That just tells you it right there. It's like, and it happens because I can only imagine. My children said, "Hey, Lenon." I said, "Shit, what? I've been there. What are you talking about?" They call me Dad and Daddy. Hey, they call Mama. They don't call my wife by her first name. They call her Mama or Mommy. See, but that just goes to show you the difference. See, and I have relatives they didn't raise their kids like other people raise their kids, what have you, because you know how that happens. And they don't refer to their mother or their father as mommy or daddy. They'll call them by their first name. Okay, that's very revealing in and of itself. Hit the one. See? Good point, Dion. I'll peep that. Thanks for the super chat, bro. Hope you're doing all right. Peace be with you. Says seniors wish their kids are around. Yeah. Yep. You're right. So I was actually thinking about that. Like, I look forward to actually the day when because we ain't having any more children. I'm too old. Not that we can't, but I can make it happen. It don't take me about a minute and 20 seconds to make it happen. But we're older. I'm looking forward to my grandchildren, and I want to be there, and I want to be healthy for my grandchildren. That's why I try to eat as healthy as I can. I try to be as fit as possible because I want to be there that if and when my children have children, I can be there me and my wife be there as grandparents. See. But you're not going to have that if you're not even participating in your children's lives. You know what I'm saying? I don't see how anyone. It's just crazy. Umar, I don't get it. But there are a lot of parents, and it's not just men. There's women too. They just abandon their kids, and it puts grandparents in a position sometimes where they're not even able to be present in their children's lives, or in some cases, the grandparents are raising the babies. See? But I look forward to the day when we have some grandchildren, and we can help out give guidance, make and help our children to do better than what we've been able to do for our children. That's what it's all about. But Umar, he's cut off that legacy already, and he's made it worse. See? Thanks, peace be with you. I appreciate Super Chat. And then Puppet D says, Ifantune's bus driver here. I'm now homeless because he pays me in Mama Oya milkshakes and Frederick Douglass. Come and get these kids. I got some bean pies for you, my brother. Yeah, but he also paid you in bulk. And he paid you in bulk, don't he? Yeah, he paid you in bulk milkshakes. Frederick Douglass pies from the Black Vegan Sports Bar, non-alcoholic. Okay, thanks, Puppet D for a super chat. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do for these teachers too. He's gonna pay them in bulk. Frederick Douglass bean pies. Okay, let's get going because we need to finish up. We got another live stream coming up here shortly. Okay, we're almost done with this video. Then we're gonna move on over to the second live stream, and then that's where we get to the big video. Okay, here we go. Thank you so much, Puppet D.
Sucks because it's like, okay, you didn't take care of me, but you could have at least been there for her because she's younger than me, So it's honestly kind of disappointing, to say the least. Yeah.
Was your mother aware of these other children, and is that how you learned that you have multiple other children, multiple other siblings, and other than the first one that you just thought you had?
So the only reason why I found out I had, or the only reason how I found out I had another sister was because she said the mother came to our house. But other than that, to my knowledge, I don't have any other siblings from what I know.
Yeah, she has at least one other one. I mean, I can provide it with the receipts. You can look it up herself.
Did the mother just come to your house trying to find like the siblings of her children, or what was she like? How did that happen where she just showed up at your house?
So my mom told me, I guess she must have looked it up because addresses are public information, and my mom did own that house at the time. But my mom told me that the lady asked her if she was still dealing with Umar. So I guess she wanted some type of insight, and they didn't have any type of relationship at that time because I was much older.
Yeah, and she's referring to the second baby mama, and this is the one that Umar doxed and put out the second baby mama's address, the child's school. It was a Quaker school. You guys remember this hit the one, and he put out their place of business, the baby mama and the grandmama. The grandmama, she's old, but she looked like my age. Make me want to work out. But see, they're real health conscious. That's why Umar's always talking shit about, yeah, you vegans this. He'll say that he's vegan, but he's not. Okay. You ain't gonna be a vegan. Come on. And I ain't gonna go there on him because I don't want to be like that. But Umar, your ass ain't vegan. You need to cut it out. I'm vegan. Your ass ain't vegan. Okay. Okay. But getting on top of these getting on you need to stop getting on top of these women and flipping around. You need to cut it out. Okay? Just be flopping around. You need to cut it out. You ain't vegan. And I'm vegan. I could lose some pounds. I got on the scale about a month ago and I said, damn, I need to do something. But I'm not going to front. I'm not going to act like I'm something I'm not. I'm vegan, but me and my wife, we've been vegan. I became a vegetarian when I was like 19. And then I became a vegan. I don't even know. It was around the time I met my wife. So about 24 years ago, but it ain't no big deal. But see, Umar Johnson's second baby mama, they have a restaurant with healthy food and stuff. And the grandmama looked like my age. I kid you not. I kid you not. I said, damn, I need to work out. But the point that I want to say here is that this young lady is speaking about the second baby mama. Okay. She doesn't even know about the third one. And Umar doesn't claim the third one or the third baby mama. See? Something ain't right either. I'm going to tell y'all something. Something's not right with all of this. And the reason why is if you look at the child support docket for the third baby mama, it's only like, what, 2 years or 3 years or something like that? I'm saying, like, what's going on here? Something happened. See, I'm still trying to put the pieces together on that. Like what actually took place there? I'm not quite sure, but Umar doesn't claim that third baby, that third baby or that third baby mama. Let's keep going.
So she just randomly, this woman just contacts you and she says she needs to, which of course you can look up public records on any man and find him. I think that's what content creators online have been doing to say that he has 3 different kids, mothers, and like 4 to 5 kids. I think they're getting this from public records, so you can look it up. But so they come to your door. She comes to your door. She's trying to get in contact with Umar. Does she mention whether or not he takes, well, I would assume, am I to assume that she did that because he wasn't taking care of her children either? And maybe she's trying to contact him to get some support? Or did she say why she was trying to contact him and why she thought your mom would be able to help her?
I would assume it was probably because Umar wasn't taking care of his other child either. If I had to make an assumption, it would be that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how would you say that you've been directly negatively affected?
See, it's possible that she was trying to contact the other baby mama to see whether or not he was paying child support, because she's been going through this with Umar again. She put Umar on child support in 2017, but she was dealing with Umar for about 5 years prior to that. So she may have reached out to the other baby mama, this young lady's mama, so that she can figure out whether or not Umar was paying child support, so that they can figure out a way to get money for this other baby. That's possible. One of the reasons why maybe she reached out to her, because they're trying to make sure that Umar Johnson's other child, at least one of his other children, is being taken care of financially. Okay, I can pull up the docket and show you all, but like I said, matter of fact, let me pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up. Then we're gonna wind this down. We're gonna start the next show. Okay, it's gonna take probably about 15 more minutes. We'll get to the next show. But let me show this one more time, because I actually figured this out over the last couple of days based on what Umar has said in other videos. Now everything makes sense. I thought that this second baby mama, I thought this was a third baby mama. But the reason why is because in 2017, the second baby mama put Umar on child support. See this? But Umar makes it clear that he impregnated her in around 2011. So that's why I put this arrow here. Child was conceived in around 2011, born in around 2012. And that's why this child is, at this point, is about 14 years old, somewhere around there. Okay. And if she was born in 2011, yeah, she would be 14. Okay. It's color coded, but she didn't put Umar on child support until 2017. It may be that at a certain point, while this second baby mama was trying to get child support through the court system, that she contacted the first baby mama, and that she contacted the first baby mama to get information about whether or not he's paying child support. See? And then, of course, Umar has a third baby mama that put him on child support in 2015. Umar was around 41, and this young woman was in her early 20s when he impregnated her. Okay? See, he don't talk about that one. That's what you Umar Johnson fathers need to be asking him. What about the third baby mama that put you on child support in 2015, and see what he say? You all go look this all up online. It's all public record. Okay? All right. All right, let's keep going here.
By his absence.
So I think that it's important not only for young women, but men as well, to have their fathers in their lives, because when you get older and you navigate the world, for example, when you start dating as a young lady, there's certain things that you may not know. Of course, my mom can tell me some things and I'm going to have to experience things for myself. But if the man that gave birth to you is not even there, it's kind of like, how do you even know or have an expectation? How do you have, or what expectation do you have of other men to treat you if your own father wasn't even there?
Yeah. What's up, Ray?
Yeah, absolutely. He says over here.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to stick with this policy for now. I know at this point, because she's all over social media, and to me, the fact that she's 22, that doesn't make any difference, because I still see her as, because I'm older and I have a young adult children, and this is just my way. Because see, that's another reason why I said this in the last live stream. Could I interview her? Yeah, probably. I'll send her some money, and then I would have the Cook Crush Chat. I'll see if she has a Cash App, and we'll you know how we do. And that's the thing about Cook Crush Chat. You guys are always very supportive, and you guys support financially too. And whenever I've had guests on, I put their cash. I rarely do it, but when I do, I'll put their Cash App on there. Y'all flood them. Y'all, that's what y'all do. That's just how we are. I would do the same thing for her. Okay, I would put some money up front out of my own pocket. Say, listen, give me your Cash App. And then we'll have the Cookie Crush Chat, send you more money, and she will get paid. She'll make some bank. You see, but the thing is the optics of it. If Umar sees that, now he has more ammunition to say, oh, she's working with my haters. She's working with the YouTube and struggle streamers. She's working with people who've been trying to tear a black man down. So then it validates Umar's claim, at least in his own mind and in his cult followers' minds. See, so that's why for me, I'm going to stick with the policy of continuing to blur her face. I may not hold that forever because she's all over the place. She's supposed to be going on Tasha K. And if it goes, she go on Tasha K, it really won't be any point at that point. But that's my policy as of right now. It's more about cybersecurity than anything else. Okay? I have a degree in cybersecurity. I take it very seriously. All right. All right. Okay, we're going to finish this right now. Then we're going to start up the second live stream. And then the second live, or the third live stream for the day, the third live stream, we're going to specifically focus on the video that Umar did where he's making threats to his second baby mama. Okay, that's what we'll cover. That's why I had to separate these shows. I want to set it up to where it'll be a whole separate show. Okay, here we go.
That your mother put a false case on him is what he's basically saying. Your mother put a case on him.
Wow.
Because he's saying while he was in Sweden, he wasn't aware. I'll just read it. While I was in Sweden, I was not aware that I was also being accused by my eldest daughter of domestically abusing her mother. So he's denying this. And he's saying, first, I want to state for the record that I have never abused any woman, a fact to which my ancestors can testify. What actually happened was one day during my daughter's early years, I was going to her mother's apartment to visit my child when I noticed before entering that her rear car windows had been broken out. There was glass everywhere. And my first thought was that someone had broken into the car to steal whatever was inside.
You know, I think Umar did that shit. He bust out the window, and then what did he do?
However, I noticed a note on top of my daughter's baby seat. I reached inside.
You put that note on there.
I wiped some of the glass away. And
wipe some of the glass? Why would you have to wipe some of the glass away, clown? You see this shit? How many of y'all think Umar did this? Hit the one. That should really be the next poll question, but I'm gonna leave the poll like it is. But how many of y'all think Umar did it? Hit the one. If you don't think he did it, hit the two. And you can have your different opinion. I think he did that shit. Narcissistic people do all kind of crazy shit so that they can be perceived as the hero. They will create chaos on purpose. Remember we were talking about this earlier, so that they come in as a savior. Listen, I think he did that shit. That's just me. And it sounds like Umar. It sounds like something that Umar's ass would do. He lies all the time. He's a pathological liar. None of it makes sense. What? Listen, why would and what's up, Black Mara? Why would somebody who's supposed to be a lover of the baby mama, she got a lover, but she want to marry you? What the fuck are you talking about, Umar? You see what I'm saying? What you mean? That's his big excuse, right? His excuse is that's the reason they want me to marry him. Well, if she wants you to marry her, why she got a lover? What is this? A phantom lover that's popping up on the scene every once in a while and bust the window out and put the note on the car inside the baby car seat? Why? But you think about that. If you know who this phantom lover is, right? And they bust out the window, right? And they put the note that threatens the baby mama in the child's life, right? Who does that? You know who it is, Umar. See? Umar, you could have went down to the police station and said, hey, look, hey, baby. Umar, you could have went down. Can you believe this? You could have went down to the police station and said, hey, listen, this is my child. This person put this note in here. They bust out the window, and I want to file child charges because that's my child. That's what but is that what the story that he tells? No. Think about this. Men, real quick, let's put yourself into this scenario, okay? You walk up on your baby mama's cars and the window's busted out and there's a note in there inside the baby car seat, right? I'm saying right just so that we can try to make this make some sense. And it says, and on the note, it threatens the baby mama and it threatens your daughter's life. And you're claiming that it's some phantom lover, right? What do? Because it's threatening your child, right? Well, you file a report your damn self because that's your child. Ain't got nothing to do with the baby mama. See what I'm saying? And you file a report. And if it is in fact the lover, that ain't difficult to find out who that is. What you talking about, Umar? Don't you think that there'll be some text message between this so-called phantom lover and the baby mama? Go get a lawyer, okay? File with the police department, make a report, go get a lawyer so you can have that subpoenaed, and they can pull up the text messages and find out where the phone number's coming from, and they could ping that number, and they'll know exactly where this lover lives, where he's at, et cetera, et cetera. Matter of fact, I can do that. I got the skills to do that kind of research my damn self. You mean the police department can't do it? Again, men, this is your child that he's threatened the life of. But you don't go through the process of finding out who this is and where they're at and bring charges up on him. Why not? See, that's what you call critical thinking. See, I think Umar busted out the window. I think Umar put the note in there. I think Umar took the note after he pushed away some glass. Right? And Umar then goes to the baby mama. This is the story he tells and says, listen, they threatening you. The phantom lover's threatening you. But the baby mama don't press no charge against it. But Umar, you could have pressed charge because that's your seed. That's your child, right? Right? And then Umar, he says, well, listen, once I saw that, I had to go get my first gun. Oh, here we go. And the police officer, when I told him about this, well, you're going to tell the police officer need to go find out who this motherfucker is, right? Right? What you mean? Huh? But Umar said he talked to the police officer and the police officer told him to go get a gun, right? Because that's what police officers tell black men, right? You motherfuckers crazy. Yeah, go on and get a gun. Go on, get it. Go get strapped up. Go get the gat, as we used to say. I never said that. Let me don't get it twisted. Story don't make no sense. And then now Umar, then he paints the narrative, which pathological liars do, that he gets the gun in order to be protective of the baby mama and his daughter, but he don't file a police report against this so-called phantom lover. Huh? And then all of a sudden, he's the knight in shining armor, as they say. He comes in to save the day. And he said, I'll stay with her for a whole week at her place just to keep her safe. But then we started arguing and shit. You mean to tell me that this woman's going to argue with you about any damn thing when you up there trying to keep her life safe? You got to be out your damn mind. I don't care how much you want to try to paint this lady out like she's some ratchet hood rat type, what you gonna call it, and that she's just trying to argue with you and cause problems with you. And no matter what you do, she just gonna treat you bad and call you out your name and try to keep the baby away from you. If she's telling you to come stay with me for a week and you're there to protect her, she ain't gonna have no complaint. Cut it out. I think Umar bust that window out. That's what I think. I think he wrote that note. Where's the note at too, Umar? You said you got the white man paperwork anyway. I'm going off. Got blowed off again. Dion says he mad because she chose the other man over him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, and the whole lover. Who's this lover? This phantom lover? Hey, come on now. Hey. She didn't want to marry Umar. Yeah, she didn't want to. None of these women want to marry her because he's abusive. He's a deadbeat. He was a deadbeat then. He's a deadbeat now. But that's the excuse that he makes. And he creates this fanciful story to basically, it's his way of giving him an escape, meaning that I did all of this for her, and yet she tried to say this in court and said that I beat on her and blah, blah, blah. And she showed pictures and all this stuff, but it was all fake. And the judge chastised. No, Umar's probably the one that the judge says to the bailiffs, go on and stand next to this guy because he's out of control. And Umar's always been like that. Look at the SETI rant. Let's think about this, Dion. In the SETI rant, Umar was acting crazy. What was that, in 2017-ish, something like that? If he's acting like that in 2017, how y'all think he was acting back in 2002? Right? You see what I'm saying? I propose that he was more unhinged back in the day. You see, especially when it comes to dealing with women. See? And SETI rant, that's public. What do y'all think? How y'all think he's been acting in private? See? Them women didn't want his ass. They scared of him. Why would they want that? Why would they want to all this and marry him when they scared him? They didn't even want him to know where their address. Come on now. See, but part of it is a narcissism beyond Umar. He really thinks that he's God's gift to women. So all women want him, including the baby mamas. See, why do y'all think he does these fake marriages and shit? Because it wants to give the illusion that all these women want to marry him. See, it fits right into this narrative about the baby mamas. And because he didn't want to marry these baby mamas, at least 3 of them, that's why they want to keep the daughters away from him. You see how much of a scheme this is inside of his own mind? But that's what mass manipulators do. He's the great deceiver of our time. Shout out to Dion. Thank you for super chat, bro. And then Tori says, Lenon, he bought a weapon and she assumed it was for her. Right. You see? Yeah. I want people to think about this. These women never felt safe around Umar. None of them. He was predatory from the beginning. If you make a woman feel secure and you're living right by her, I'm going to tell y'all men, 95% of the women, you ain't going to have much problems with them. If you do right by them, you respect them, you treat them right, you make them feel safe and secure, you're not going to have much problems. On the other hand, if you treat them wrong, if they're afraid of you, if you calling them out their name, if you yelling at them and you creating chaos and you just escalating shit, see, you want to argue? I mean, you ain't got no business arguing with no woman. Okay, that's what the car is for. You go get in the car, you go take a drive, you think about it, you come back, and if she ain't calmed down by then go on out again. Then come on back, say, you ready to talk about this? I don't want to argue with you. Can I give you a hug? And if she want to keep going, well, then you done chose the wrong one. But if she want to talk about it, nice and calm, okay, you talk about it, you squash it, it's over with. Maybe that night you make some love and you keep it moving. See? If you treat the woman right, you respect her, you keep her safe, you make her feel secure, and you treat her with the level of respect, you're not going to have many problems 95% of the time. And that other 5%, you done chose the wrong one. That's on you. Thanks, Tori, for the super chat. Yeah, Umar, he's something else. He really is. The story and how he creates these stories, just like with the, he created the story with, I know we got another live stream that's supposed to start 11 minutes ago. Even the story that he creates about Jay having a fight with Jay-Z. He was going to get into a fight with Jay-Z, and the other story about how Lauryn Hill kissed him on the cheek and how she told him that she was on her menstrual cycle and all this shit. This is story. He just makes up shit. And one other thing, sometimes with Umar, he may tell some truth, but then he exaggerates shit to where it becomes something totally different. That's another thing you got to be careful with Umar. See, do I think he met Lauryn Hill? Yeah. But all this other shit about how he was laying on the bed somehow and she come over and lay her head on his shoulder. Well, don't know women that don't know you're going to do that inside some hotel, motel room. What you talking about, Umar? Then she tells you how she on her menstrual cycle. Women don't go up to men, strangers in a hotel room and lay on their shoulder and tell them about how they on their menstrual cycle. What you talking about? That's crazy. Man, you ever have a woman do that to you? Now, your wife may mention it, but most of the time you already know that. Hit the one. If you've been with them long enough and you know the schedule and all that stuff. You get used to that thing. You get used to that. You get used to it, you know. But ain't no woman that you don't know just gonna randomly come up to you and put inside a hotel room and you laying on the bed. This is Umar story. You laying on the bed, they come up to you and they just start talking about how they on their menstrual cycle. I ain't never had that happen to me. That's like you go to the store and you getting some, I don't know, you getting some ice cream. And there's a woman that walks up to you, you know, I'm really not feeling well today. Oh, what's wrong? Are you okay? Yeah, well, you know, I've been on my menstrual cycle for 2 days. The second day is the most difficult. I mean, I get the cramps and the flow is so heavy the second day. Man, you ever have that happen? Some random, you don't know who this is, but in this case, that's crazy. But in this case, Umar's inside a hotel room and he laying on the bed and out of all people is Lauryn Hill come through and he lay on the bed. She come lay and put her head on his shoulder and tell him about how she on her menstrual cycle. What? This is the types of stories that Umar tells. You see? And then he tops it all off at the end after the show's over with. I'm sure he probably met her. I'm sure. I did the research. They were up there while he was at the Black Student Union. He was in the Black Student Union at that time. But then at the end, to top it all off, she at the end of the concert, and he's at the back of a dark gym, and she walks up and she finds him. Out of all the people that's there, she goes and she finds Umar, walks up to him, kisses him on the cheek, and says, "Bye, cutie." Now listen, I ain't never had no woman do that to me when I'm at Walmart. You know, trying to get some ice cream. She talk about, you know, my flow is so heavy. I really need to get some pads, right? I need to get some, what I need to get me some pads for the heavy time. But I can't remember what they call them. I don't get them when I have to. Not for me. But I need to get heavy flow pads. You know, I got to get some more pads. I just want to let you know. And then she walk away, and then you in the checkout line about to go because everything's over with, right? And then she walks up to you, comes up to you, kisses on the cheek, and says, "Bye, cutie." I wish a woman would. Now, again, some of you men, maybe it's happened for you like that. Maybe you got it like that, but that ain't never happened to me. You know, I'm really bleeding heavily right now. I just wanted to let you know that, sir. Crazy. Anyway, that's Umar. That's Umar. CJ Judge says, watching Umar's mind go to Swiss cheese for the world to see has been one of the highlights of 2025. Yeah, he's really gone. He's gone. Yeah, that's very true. And see, we've been following Umar consistently since 2018. And if you guys go back to 2018 and bring it to present, we've seen this just play itself out. This guy, he done gone crazy. He was already batshit crazy, even going way back in the day. He was batshit crazy back in 2005, trying to scam the UNIA, calling himself the modern day Malcolm X. Who talks like that? Narcissist. See, he was a scam artist back then, but the difference is that if we fast forward 20 years later, he's off the rails. Okay. He's literally batshit crazy. And see, even when he fabricates these stories, it speaks to us up here. He out there. He way out there. You know, CJ Judd, you may not know this, but I have the audio where Umar talking about how they're going to build what did he say? They're going to build on top of the roof, an observatory on top of the roof of these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. That's nuts. And he says, so that we can look and see the surfaces of planets. I said, what? You can see the actual surface? They don't even have, NASA don't even have that technology. What you talking about, Umar? They have to send a rover out there. He's talking about they're going to build some sort of observatory on top of the roof at these funky school bandos up there. And that with this technology, CJ, they're going to be able to see the surface of planets. Not to see the planet itself, just out there, but this actual surface. That's what he said. He's batshit crazy. That was from the Big Papa podcast. I think it was episode 6. I had episode 6, and I had another one where he was thinking about selling the buildings, but I couldn't find that one. I have it somewhere, but I never got all of them. If you ever want to send me all of them, okay, I'll send you $50. Right? I'll cash up you $50 if you got all of them. Send them to me. LenonHonor@yahoo.com. Thanks, CJ Judd. God's Little Princess abandoned his kids and FMG. He never finished anything. You're right. He never finishes anything. Someone made a comment too a couple of days ago. They said Umar treats his daughters like he treats FDMG, abandoned. And they're absolutely right. They're absolutely right. Man. See, it's not even amazing. The ironic part of all this, we got about 1,100 people in the building. If y'all hit the like button, I appreciate it. We already have 557 likes. We already got to do over 500. Thank y'all so much. See if we get to 600. We're almost done. God, Little Princess, the irony of it is that Umar has gone on a campaign for decades now to try to tell Black men in particular that we need to commit to women, and that the Black women, and that we shouldn't date outside of the race, that we should marry them, and we should take care of our kids. He's told women all kind of crazy shit. It's just all about control, what you need to be doing with your kids and how you're lazy. You're a lazy parent. I have all these receipts on this disrespected Black parents. Meanwhile, he's a deadbeat who never finishes anything. He makes all sorts of promises, but he never finishes anything. I take in my notes. I take all the different promises that he made, hundreds of them, that he said he was going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have a convention for this. I'm going to have a convention for that. I'm going to open up a school in 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, he's about to say 2026. Give it about 6 more weeks. 6 more months. He'll say 2026. All kind of stuff he said he's going to do that he never does, and he never gets anything done. And if you guys really think about it, how is he going to be able to get anything done when all he does is travel? See, one can ask the question, why does he travel so much? Well, he's homeless. He has to have a place to stay. He can't stay in his mama's closet right now. That's y'all's principle. That's y'all's black leader. But you can't tell, got a little prison, you can't tell Umar Johnson co-follows anything. So they're going to defend him to the end, even though the receipts are all out there. And I can back up everything that I've said about Umar. In fact, Umar's lied about me quite a few times. He's fearful to say my name these days. See? But there was a time. There was a time where Umar used to run his mouth. He don't do it these days. See? I was going to make another point, but I just forgot. All right. Yeah, he never finishes anything. That's the point I'm going to get to. See? And if you guys go back, as long as I covered Umar with the stuff that he said, 90 that he was going to do, 99% of it he never did. It's close to 99.5% of it he never actually completed. It's actually close to 99.9%. Okay? He don't finish nothing. All right, thanks, God. Real quick, Dion says he lied to himself so much he believed his own book. I think that in his own mind, because he's delusional, he sees reality based upon what he wants it to be, not what it is. And so when he lies and he creates these fairy tales, he actually lives in it. He lives in it. He believes it up here. See, if you tell so many lies, you have to start believing the lies at some point. Otherwise, it's going to drive you crazy. He already crazy. But I'm saying it's going to make you even more. It's going to make you crazier. So he has to believe on some level what he's saying. Otherwise, he wouldn't be repeating it so much. Like he's a descendant of Frederick Douglass, that he's a school psychologist. He hasn't worked as a school psychologist since 2010, 2011. That he's a therapist. He's never been a therapist. He's never been licensed as a therapist. He's never had any certifications as a therapist. See, a clinical psychologist. He's never been a where's his office? He doesn't have any office. He's never had an office. I've never seen him in an office. See, the list goes on and on and on. That he's the most requested scholar. How do you quantify that? He's not even a scholar. He's not peer reviewed. He's never been published in a scholarly journal. None of that. Okay. The 2 books that he's written, there's no scholarly sources. Matter of fact, there's no source material whatsoever. He's not a scholar, but he tells people that. And he actually believes that. But that's because he's been lying for such a long time. And he says he told the lie so many times that not only does he believe it, but his cult followers believe it too. See, what I would suggest, Dion, for you Umar Johnson followers, you cult followers in particular, whenever Umar says something, see if there's a receipt associated with it, proves it, that associated with it, it proves what he's saying to be true. And you're not going to find it for 99.9% of what he says. You're not going to find it because he's a habitual liar. That's my challenge, okay, to you Umar Johnson supporters. No matter what it is that he says, ask for a receipt that proves what he says to be true. He says he hasn't raised $1 million. Well, to ask him, well, how is it possible that you haven't raised $1 million, even though in 2016, into 2016, you said that you were already at $1 million? How are you going to go from $1 million in 2016 to now in 2025, you haven't raised $1 million? This guy's over $2 million. And I can prove that. Never lied on this guy, but this guy's lied on me many, many times. But you can't tell these Umar Johnson followers anything, but they should be asking these critical questions too. Thanks, Dion. Okay, we gotta close this up. Vic says, who all bought spiritual stock in FDMG with raw cash? Here we go. This is another thing that Umar was promoting in his delusional world. He was talking about spiritual stock certificates for FDMG. Huh? What is a spiritual stock certificate? It's a scam. That's what it is. You guys remember that in a school announcement video from February of 2019? Umar was talking about FDMG spiritual stock certificates. So they're not real. They're not tangible. They're spiritual. It's like saying, yeah, I'm going to pay you. I'm going to send you a spiritual check. Yeah, we're going to match that 401k at 3% or 2% or 4%, but it's going to be spiritual. Wait a minute. What? Yeah, we're going to give you health benefits, spiritual health benefits. But see, that's Umar. He out there. See, and like Dion was saying, he believes some of this shit. He believes it. That's why he says it. And he keeps saying it, and his followers believe it too. But that's mind control. That's how he controls the cult. It's a virtual cult, but it's a cult nonetheless. See, he did. I kid you not. I can pull it up and play it for you all. Where he said that he's gonna give out FDMG spiritual stock certificates. He's such a scam artist. You can't scam much deeper than that. Okay. Thanks, Vix. I hope you're doing all right. And Gambino says you can see the surface of a few planets with telescopes. I have a good one. No, you can't see when I say surface, I'm talking about the actual surface. For instance, if you go outside, and I know what you're talking about, but if you go outside right now and you go to the surface, okay, you go look at the grass and you go put your hand in the grass, you can't. There's no telescope that's going to go to Mars and you're going to actually see that close to the surface. You're not going to do that. Okay, it's just not. We don't have that technology to do that, and that's what Umar was proposing. Okay, so I get what you're saying, but when I'm saying surface, I'm not talking about where you could from afar you can see a planet and you can see whatever. I'm talking about the surface where it's, for instance, where you stand. If you were on Mars right now and you were standing up, there's no telescope that's going to be able to see where your foot hits the ground. It's not possible. We don't have the technology for that. And if we did, we wouldn't have to send rovers out there to get that type of video footage to send it back here to Earth. We wouldn't have to do that. See, if NASA doesn't have the technology, you best believe that Umar doesn't have the technology. That's the point that I'm making. However, and I understand what you're saying. Okay, listen, I'm into sci-fi. One of my bucket lists before I leave this planet or before I pass away is I want to be able to go because they have these different locations where you can see the Milky Way galaxy. Not like what we see like when we're in the city. You can see some stars, but it's far more massive than that. And I want to be able to see that before I pass away. And I want to see it before my vision gets too bad. It's already something else to be worried about already. But that's something that I want to do. I'm into sci-fi. I understand telescopes and all that stuff, but we do not have the telescope today that can see the actual surface where you can actually look if there's a rock on that planet that you can zoom in on that rock. We don't have that technology. But Umar's proposing that he's going to build an observatory on the roof of FDMG, and they're going to be able to see the surface of planets. No, it's simply not possible. NASA doesn't have the technology. Definitely Umar doesn't have the technology. And shout out to all y'all who's into, stargazing and so forth and so on. In fact, the first ship that Captain Picard was on, or one of the first ships that he was on was called the Stargazer. Yeah, you see, that's right. Shout out to y'all Trekkies out there. And shout out to Ann Gambino. Thank you so much for the super chat. Leslie says, how are you done with your child when you never how are you done with your child when you never started? Yeah. See, Umar, he's never really been a father. He doesn't know what it's about. He doesn't know the challenges of it. He doesn't know the blessings of it too. See? I would propose that one of the reasons why Umar has gotten so lost in his life is because he didn't have something to ground him. If you're a loving parent, children are going to ground you. You ain't going to be doing the same stupid shit you was doing before. Amen. You're going to be the stuff that you were doing that was dysfunctional. You recognize that you can't be involved with that anymore, including running through these women for you men out there. You're not going to be involved with that because you recognize that the child needs you. And so they become a balancing force to make sure that you're focused on the right things. But Umar never had that. I'm going to tell y'all something else. Umar was given order in a chaotic life when he was shipped off to the military academy in 9th grade. He was there 9th grade, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. But once he gets out of there, the structure is not there. The discipline is not there. Again, it's a military academy. And once he gets into college, he goes buck wild. And he's just gotten worse and worse over the years. In fact, there's an image that Umar posted recently. Let me show you all this, and then we're going to finish this up and start the next live stream. There's an image that Umar posted recently, and it proves my point. Let's go to, this would be what, 1991. Okay, let me go into my folder here. Let me go to 1991. It should be in and around 1991. I'm in the wrong folder. Hold on one second. Let me do, okay, here we go. Excuse me. No, it's 1992. That's what it is. It's going to be 1992. Okay, 1995, 93, 92. Okay, I want y'all to look at this. Check this out. Hey, son, you good? You good? People, they don't mind. You do what you got to do. Get that food, buddy. Here it is right here. See, Leslie, this is when Umar, he had discipline in his life, but it was external discipline. See how he's dressed? He was a color guard at the military academy. His hair is cut nice. This would be his senior year at that military academy. Look at how Umar, how he's presented, but that's because it was forced discipline. Everything was regimen, and that's how the military works. And Umar was given structure. He was told what to do, when to do it, how to dress, when to wake up, when to go to bed, so forth and so on. The problem was that once he gets out of this type of environment, he doesn't have that structure and he goes buck wild. Let me pull some up for y'all. Let me see if I can find this. Here it is right here. This is from in and around 1997. Okay. So the picture that you see right here is 1992. Look at Umar 5 years later. And to be honest with you, he looks smoked out here. Be straight, be real with you. See, with the homies. This is in and around the time where he was the president of the Black Student Union at Millersville University. You see the difference? Look, he looks more like a man here, at least the appearance, than he does right here. And this is in and around 1997. This is 1992. You see this? So this is a very important point to make because Umar was given structure and he was raised in chaos. He was given structure for a number of years, but when he gets into college, he doesn't have a system that's in place to keep him in check, and he just goes ballistic and he goes crazy. I mean, not even crazy, but he becomes irresponsible. He's not handling business. He starts impregnating these women. See, he's not taking care of kids, and it goes on and on and on, and then it just keeps continuing to this day. I mean, that's such a huge point. I'm going to point that out inside the documentary too. It just goes to show you the difference between what took place for Umar when he in 1992. In 1992, the transformation that took place by him getting into college and having a level of freedom. See, that's why by the time we get into roughly 2019-ish, where he flipped that phone. I can't remember what year that was. It might have been 2018 when he flipped that. Wait a minute, I gotta go back and see because it might have been after he acquired these abandoned buildings. I can't remember right now. Black Anonymous would remember. KKC would remember too. But when he flipped that phone, Dion would remember. When he flipped that phone, it shows chaos because he didn't have structure. You see? Whereas when in 1992, look at him. Look at this. See? And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Okay? A huge point right there. Okay. And that includes not being there for his own children. See, that's chaos. Okay. It shows a lack of responsibility. He didn't have order. See, his daddy should have been there with him from the jump to keep him online with that. Listen, if and when, and I hope they do at some point, if my sons have children, okay, I'm going to do my best to keep them on track, that they're doing, and they do better than I did. That's what I want to be here long term for. I try to eat right and try to be healthy, so forth and so on. And hopefully I'll be around long enough to be able to help them because I don't have that for my own father. He was gone. By the way, I just want to say something too, by the way. People don't be speaking, and the person that did this, you don't know, because they were saying that, well, your mama, she had babies with your daddy. Well, my mom was married to my father. Okay. She stayed with him and he was an extreme abuser. Okay. And if you don't understand what happens, especially in abusive relationships, oftentimes the abuse will stay. Sometimes out of fear, sometimes because they have children with them, and they feel like they want to make sure that they have children, the children's father inside their life, so forth and so on. So please don't underestimate the impact that abusers can have on the victim, and don't blame the victim either. My mom was a victim. In fact, my siblings and I, we were victims too. Okay. We were abused, straight up, real talk. We were abused. My mama was abused, extremely abused. I can tell you story after story of all types of crazy shit. See, real quick, then we're going to finish up this live stream. We start the next one. Cynthia G told the story about how her father was on drugs and how he chose drugs over her, and how I think she said something about he did drugs in front of her or something like that. I done seen all that stuff. In fact, my dad took me to a crack house one time. So y'all can't tell me shit. See, but he was with my mama for a very long, and they were married. They were married. Okay, for a very long time. By the time I get to in around 13 or 14, he was so off the rails. Then he started threatening people, and in my mind, I was like, he's gonna end up killing us. And I truly believe that if nothing changed back then, that he would have killed somebody up in there because he was crazy, all over drugs. See, and I remember it was the night that he because I talked to my mama about him, and I was explaining to her how much of a threat he was, because I could tell, and I was like, something has to change. She ended up talking to my dad about it, which was probably shouldn't have done. And he gets really upset about that. And then he comes at me talking about he gonna kill me. He didn't say kill me, but the way that he said it, that's the vernacular. Basically, you keep talking, and I'm gonna take you out. You see, and that's when I made a decision. I said, we ain't this shit. You see, I don't play that. That's why what I ended up doing was I knew where all of his drug paraphernalia. And that night, after he left to go do his drug run, I went and got all of his not all of it, but I got drug paraphernalia. I put it in plastic bags, little baggies. And I put evidence A, B, C, D, D inside each one of them. And then that next morning, I took it to school to the counselor. I walked in. They said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "Why are you?" They were like, "Why are you here?" I said, "Well, I got to talk to somebody." I went up in there, and his name was Mr. Libby. Shout out to Mr. Libby. And he sat me down, and I just started taking it out. I didn't even say nothing. He said, "Why are you here?" And I just started taking out all the drug paraphernalia and setting up on the table. He was shocked. You should have seen how he looked. And I said, "We need help." See. So no, don't blame the abused, and don't say because a woman had children with an abuser that somehow it's her fucking fault. No, it don't work like that. And I'm living proof. I already know. I already done been through the shit. And then what ends up happening is that Mr. Libby went and got another counselor, Miss Winston, and she was a family friend. She knew my family for a long time, and her and the principal, Miss Johnson, the irony. They ended up calling my mama to the school and bring all the kids up there. We were sitting inside of this office room, and all of us was around the table, and we had this long conversation. And the sheriff ended up getting my daddy up out of there, and that's how that went down. See, so don't be speaking on people who've been abused as if they've made the mistake. No, people who are abused are under a situation wherein oftentimes they're being manipulated and controlled too. You see, and no, my mama wasn't out there living like that or nothing like that. She was married to this guy. See, and I was the one that made the decision that I'm going to stop that shit. And that's precisely what I did at the age of 13, 14. Y'all can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me shit. But like I was saying real quick, I remember my dad took me to a crack house. All right. But I know one damn thing. I ain't going to be taking my children to no crack house. That's why I stayed away from drugs, stayed away from alcohol, all these vices. Not me. I ain't got no time for it. I got these babies to take care of, and I'm trying to do better by them, better than was done for me. And I'm not going to be blaming nobody else, including my father. I can't use him as an excuse. Okay, he did what he did. It was what it was, but I'm going to keep it pushing, and I'm going to do my best to do right by my wife and do right by my babies. And that's facts. So put some fucking respect on my name. Okay. Thank you, Leslie. And then the lady says, "Thank you for a great." Well, you're so welcome. You've been around for such a long time. Shout out to all y'all. Quick Quartet's undefeated. All right, I think I got to everything. Let's finish this up now, and then we got another live stream that's already scheduled. We're running behind, but we're gonna get to it for sure. Let me see. I think I got to all the super chats. I get to everybody. Yeah, I did. Okay. Let's just finish this up here, and then we'll go head on over to the other show. Here we go.
Read the note. To my surprise, it was a letter from Mama Smurf's lover who was threatening both her and my child for unstated reasons. Although I cannot remember everything he had to say, I do remember that threat and the very aggressive tone of his letter. He didn't mention why he had chosen to vandalize her car, nor why he was threatening their lives. So I have two questions. One, has your mother ever told you about any scenario? He's saying that you witnessed it. Do you remember this ever taking place? And two, do you believe that he is trying to put this story on your stepfather? Because you did mention that you have a stepfather. So do you believe he's writing this, assuming it's not true?
Let me get my phone.
Is he doing this to maybe convict your stepfather of also aiding in him not seeing you?
Yes. So for the first question, I would say no. And for the second question, I would say yes. I do believe he's trying to shift the blame and take it off of him and put it on my stepfather. And any claim that he's making on my stepfather is untrue. He doesn't even know him. So I just think he's just doing this to try to cover himself up. honestly.
When bandits are trying to toe tag somebody for leaving them or whatever reason, they not slipping notes.
Exactly.
Who leaving a note in the baby car seat saying, yeah, I'm a toe tag you?
Yeah. Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense, Cynthia. It makes no sense.
Right. like, I'm not gonna do it now.
Oh
but on
my
this day and
God.
at that time, I'm gonna come back over here and I'm gonna do this, that, and the third to you. No one's
That's
doing
real
that.
talk.
Like, stop
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
It's like, just stop it. No one did this. Like,
What you talking about?
sorry.
Don't
It's
bring up Lauren
crazy,
Hill,
isn't
please.
it? It's crazy.
Because it sounds like all you really wanted is for Umar to just take accountability and actually be a father.
Right.
And so I have to ask you this because many people are asking this. What do you hope to achieve, or what did you hope to achieve by sharing your experience publicly? Like, what did you hope to
Okay, we almost done. Let me go reset the time for the next live stream. Thank y'all for being patient. Here we go.
get out of it?
Yes. So the main two goals, number one was to find my sister, which I have accomplished. The second goal was to have a conversation with him and get all my questions answered, which I did not achieve. Now, what I can say is he did try to bring that forward. He sent me a text message privately and said, I would love you, me and your mother to sit down and have a conversation so you can have all your questions answered. So that did not get accomplished, unfortunately. But I guess the third thing is to spread more awareness on children who do not have fathers and how to turn it into a positive thing. Because even though he wasn't there, luckily I had a stepfather figure that was there. And so I think that trauma can bring a lot of lessons. And I don't think that it's fair because trauma comes in different forms. And I don't think that anyone should have to go through it. But fortunately, it does allow you to learn more about yourself. And it teaches you how to get through situations without someone else there.
Yeah.
Like it kind of isolates you. So you're able to deal with things head first on your own.
Umar Johnson stated that your mother, out of her bitterness, she decided to violate multiple court orders, custody orders. Do you know of any attempt that he has made to take your mother to court to hold her accountable for violating these custody orders?
No, and I'm unsure of what court orders he's talking about because when they had a co-parenting order in place, he stopped showing up. So
see, Umar's not saying that. See, they had a co-parenting situation. Umar says that the baby mama was keeping the child away, but that's not. See, if that's the case, if it's already court ordered, we're in their co-parenting. Then if the baby mama doesn't allow him to see the child, Umar should just take them to court and say, listen, and have it documented. Okay. Listen, judge, she's not allowing me to see the child, et cetera, and then provide the receipts on that. And then the baby mama would be in trouble. You see, but that's not what Umar does. He comes up with a whole nother story about how the baby mama is keeping him away, keeping the baby away from him. No, that's not what was happening. Umar stopped showing up, which is consistent with Umar's behavior anyway, because he has at least 2 other baby mamas. See, and 2 other children that he don't take care of. He's been absent in their lives too. See? Umar, he's a
I'm not sure what court orders he's claiming that my mom violated. That's probably a lie too.
Yeah, well, it probably is, but here we'll go to this because he is saying explicitly that there are multiple court orders that your mother violated, which I mean, of course, Umar Johnson is claiming that he initially wanted sole custody of you. That's what he's saying. He's saying initially he wanted sole custody of you, but then your mother decided to go to court and fabricate some pictures of abuse, which would actually correspond with what your mother is saying. You said that your mother has made claims that he physically abused her. Umar put in this long diatribe that your mother took images to custody court and created a fictitious story along with your grandmother that accused him of beating on him abusing your mother. He then in here says that your grandmother became belligerent and I'll read it. As I left family court that day, Grandma Smurf, disappointed in the judge's decision, tried to engage me in a scuffle. As we prepared to clash outside, the family court police stepped in to separate us and pulled me back into the building until the Smurfs had left the area. Do you did your mother tell you of anything about an altercation at court, or because he's saying this played out when you were here. You were a child already. You were already birthed. They're going to court for custody. He's trying to get full custody of you. Your mother is preventing him from doing so, he's saying.
Yes. So my mom did claim that when him and Umar went to court, that he was very vocal and just he was just acting completely out of character. So I believe that my mom requested that her dad be at the court as well, because the way he was acting was just it was just crazy.
Custody of you. What do you think about that, especially now given his actual attitudes towards you, the indifference that he's showing, and the lack of connection that he's showing? How does that make you feel while he's also simultaneously asserting that your mother lied to prevent him from getting full custody of you?
Yes. So if anything, if my mom was trying, I'm not going to say trying to keep me from him, because I already know that that's a lie. But if my mom went to the court and wanted, I guess, them to put an order in place that gave my mom full custody, I wouldn't look down on her, because my mom is the one that raised me. I don't understand why he wanted full custody when he wasn't even there. He only got me a couple of times and I was a baby. I was a kid.
See that? But the thing is that for him, it's control. It's about control. And it's not just control of the child. It's also continued control over the mama. That's how abuses are. See, it's always about control. So even Umar saying, I want you to meet you and your mother, that's an act of control. So that's Umar's big issue. His daddy's the same way. That's why they changed the name. We want to change them babies' names, marries the mama, have him move out to North Carolina, change the baby's name, and then shortly thereafter, he divorces the mama, Barbara, and then sends all of them back to Philadelphia to go live with the grandma, living in poverty while he's living it up. See? It's control. It's about control. See, Umar's the same way. He wants to be in control not only of the child, even though he stopped showing up, but it's also an act to be in control. He's acting out this way in order to be in control of the child's mother too. Okay, this is the behavior of abusers. It's all about control. P. Diddy, control. R. Kelly, control. Bill Cosby, control. Umar Johnson, control. Okay, Janet Jackson, control. Here we go.
So even to this day, I haven't had a full conversation with him. I couldn't tell you. I didn't even know that his name was Jermaine. I thought that his name was Umar. I guess that's just his
We're almost done. That's crazy. She's 22.
Name for the public, but I didn't even know that his name was Jermaine Shoemake. That was news to me. But I'm not really sure why he wanted full custody, because he wasn't even ever really there. And the lies that he's claiming on my mother, they're lies. My mom never tried to keep me away from him. He just doesn't want to take responsibility.
Why do you think multiple daughters? Have you decided to go out and seek to try and find your other sisters that you're being told that you have?
Yes, so luckily I did. Yes, luckily I did find his other daughter. As stated before, she reached out to me. Well, actually, let me tell you how it happened. So she has a younger brother. The younger brother has another dad, but the same mom. So
now, remember, Umar was saying that the younger brother was that it was an older brother and he was 22. Umar's such a liar. He's such a liar. Listen to what his daughter's saying.
His dad isn't Umar. He has another dad, but he reached out to me via Instagram and told me that he knows my sister. Well, they know each other obviously because they're siblings, but he then gave me his mother's number and we got on the phone and she said hi, we kind of introduced ourselves. We had a short conversation and she said that she would allow me to speak to the daughter when she got home from school. So luckily I did get in contact with one of the daughters. As far as his other children, I don't know their names.
Well, I can give it to you if she ever wants to reach out. I mean, she could email me. It's just that Umar would use it as saying somehow that she's in cooperation with me and the Cookie Crush chat and the haters and the detractors, etc. But I can provide it with that information. I'll be right back. Let me go give me some tea real quick. I'll be right back.
I don't even know if he has other children, but the more I go on the internet, the more I'm starting to like realize maybe he does have other children that I don't know about. But if he does, how come he only spoke about me and his younger daughter? Maybe he doesn't have other children.
Well, the thing is highly likely actually that Umar could have multiple other children out there, because the reality is he's not tied to one woman. He doesn't make it publicly known that he has any children. And he travels around, his primary core base being black women who he knows don't hold black men to any standards or accountable for anything. So the reality is Umar could have a whole slew of children that no one knows about, that not even.
Yeah, that's right. Let me say this, that the reason why Umar he doesn't speak about the third baby mama is because she would have been in her early 20s and he would have been in around 41 when he impregnated her. That's why he doesn't want people to know about that third baby mama. All right, here we go.
But does your mother and your sister know that you came publicly, to let it be, to try and find your sister?
I believe that she does know I came public only because her son, which is Umar's daughter's brother, reached.
Okay, real quick, I'm sorry, everyone. We have over 1,000 people here. If y'all can hit the like button, we haven't done these types of numbers since COVID. So I want to give a shout out to Cookie Crush Chat, everyone who's tuning on in. I appreciate y'all. Okay, love y'all. Appreciate the support. I'm gonna wind down this poll. The poll question is Umar Johnson a Pookie? Okay, there's been 1,442 votes. 90% say yes, 10% say no, and I would say yes. Get your vote in. I'm gonna close this out in about 2 minutes, and we're gonna start closing this show out. We're almost done here. We've got another live stream already set up. We'll head on over there within the next 10 minutes. Okay, and then we have 635 likes. Thanks to everyone who hit the like button. Let's see if we can get 15 more. We have 641. Let's see if we can get to 650 before we close out the show. Got about 1,000, almost 1,100 people watching right now. Yeah, we're about 1,100. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Let's go.
Out to me via Instagram, so I'm pretty sure she does know that I went public about it, but she made sure to let me know to please not post any pictures or put her name out there, which I wouldn't do that anyway because it's an invasion of privacy. But yeah.
No, her picture doesn't need to be out there, and I do suspect that is one of the reasons that Umar does want her brought to the forefront. I think he wants to weaponize the community against her.
That's right, and he wants to do it in advance. It's tactical. It's preemptive. In other words, he wants to already put this other the second child in a position to wherein it's less likely for her to come out because he's setting an example of what will take place based upon what he's doing to the first baby. You know what I'm saying? Who's 22 now. What he's doing to the first daughter. This is preemptive. Okay. This is strategic on his part. See, and if in fact, I'm gonna tell y'all, if the baby mamas ever came out, but they're scared of him because he's an abuser. But if they ever came out and spilled the beans, that would be it. That would be it right there. See, but what Umar's doing is he's trying to set a precedence right now. He wants to blame it on the baby mama, the first baby mama, that she didn't want it. She was keeping the baby away. He wants to call the first baby, the 22-year-old, a clout chaser, and this is words, a YouTube struggle streamer, that it's a money grab on her part, etc. Meanwhile, he's the abuser. He's the one that abandoned. He's the deadbeat. You see? But see, if he does this now, this other baby, I apologize for saying baby because she's a teenager now, but when she comes of age, if she decides to come out and talk about Umar, he's already set a precedence. See? This is really Umar's worst nightmare right here. Here we go.
Is she aware of any of what he's saying about her, that, she essentially lied on him in court in order to prevent him from seeing you?
So are you talking about his other daughter?
No, your mom. Sorry. I'm sorry. Is your mom aware of any of the things that he's publicly saying about her?
Yes.
What does she think about it? Because I mean, this has to be at the very least very disappointing for her.
So she actually came in my room a couple days ago and showed me a live clip of him basically saying that my mom was the bottom of his shoe. She was a piece of dirt, all of these nasty comments. She also, she talked to me about a message, which I'm not going to go into detail because this is private, but this was a message that he sent her basically claiming that my mom never took care of me. I was taken care of. I was abandoned. It was just a lot of claims and a lot of lies. Like, he's very known for lying.
Let's pause it right there. Umar's a habitual liar. And so what is he doing right there when he's saying that you were abandoned by your mother and that she didn't take care of you? What is he doing there? Good question, chat. This is what Umar is known to do. He's known for lying. And oftentimes when he lies, he's doing what? He's projecting. He's talking about himself, but he want to flip it around and make it seem like it's the mama that was absent and wasn't taking care of the baby, abandoned. What you mean? The mama was one that raised the baby, and then furthermore, the mama's I'm going to assume husband stepped in as a stepdad and helped to raise a daughter that wasn't. So shout out to him, more of a father to Umar Johnson's daughter than Umar is. What kind of man, Umar? But you see how he wants to flip it around. See. He will project. That's what, he is. He's sick. Okay. It is. It's also gaslighting when you try to change people so they can think a whole nother way about their reality. And you know what's real and what's not, but he'll gaslight in order to, he wants to set the seed, plant the seed that somehow the baby mama, the child's mother was the one that abandoned the child, that she was absent, that she wasn't taking care of the child, etc. But see, that's Umar. That's projecting, but it's also a form of gaslighting too. He's something else. Yeah, Jackson. He's projecting. Yeah. Okay, we're almost done. Here we go.
If you could say anything to Umar now, if you wanted one message for him to get, what would it be?
Yep. Real talk, James.
If I was being 100% honest, I would say that I'm disappointed in not only the lies and accusations that you have made that are false, but also the response that you gave to me publicly. I am supposed to be your daughter. I'm supposed to be the person that you protect and take care of. But instead, you get on the internet and you make not only false accusations, but it's just the vocabulary that you're using. The mama smurf, the daughter smurf. It's childish to me. So disappointment is what I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
And I'm very, and it's funny, a lot of people say that me and Umar, and I'm not going to, yes, he is my father, but if I want to call him Umar and not my father, I have the right of doing that because he hasn't been there. I have a father that's in my life. So,
amen.
I'm very vocal. A lot of people say that we have very similar personalities. I'm very outspoken. And I even told him, I sent him a voice message and said, I'm disappointed in how you responded to me on social media. And I don't like the accusations that you're making. So I responded to him and I told him this, of course, not face to face, but over the phone. So he knows how I feel.
You did say in one of the videos that you made, you said that he had reached out and scheduled to set up to talk to you and him. Did he just decide he didn't want to do that discussion either? He just never showed?
So yeah, he pretty much stopped responding after he sent me that message.
Given that Umar's primary base is Black women, he's abandoned and disparaged you, a Black woman, and your mother. He has called you a clout chaser and said you're out for a money grab. Do you think that Umar Johnson is the one out for a money grab of Black women?
Oh, I really don't know how to answer this question. So what I will say too is, because I did see the comments of him calling me a clout chaser, but not only that, he said that I was in it for a money grab. But my response to that was, because there were a lot of people reaching out to me to do interviews, a lot of big people with platforms and things like that. And the only thing I said is that if I'm coming to someone's platform to talk about something, especially this situation, my response to that was, I don't think that it would be fair for me to do it for free, only because they're profiting off of this story. So
Don't
that
do
was
it.
Yeah, and she should, she should get paid if people want to have them on her platform. Like I would do it simply because I know how. I mean, I would pay her, and then I would put her cash up here, and then Cook Crush Chat will bless her. That's how we do things up over here. Cook Crush Chat's always been like that. But see, Umar, what he would do is he'll flip that around and he will say, "Oh, well, she's working with my haters. This is proof." Even see, if she goes on Tasha K, that's the narrative that he's gonna attempt to spin. That she's working with people that's hating on him and that's been trying to tear a black man down, etc. You see, but in my opinion, yeah, she should be able to make some money. Why not? Umar's been making money off of lying to people. So what? She can't make money off of telling the truth. See, real talk. And I would promote her Cash App too for sure. There we go.
My response to that, and I know your question was.
I'll promote Umar's Cash App too. I'm just playing. Umar, his Cash App went to the block party, so I'll promote it now. Anyway, here we go.
I think that Umar is being a money or is doing a money grab. You said for black women.
Do you think he's exploiting black women for money?
I do think so. Yes,
I think he is too.
See, his own daughter knows this.
Absolutely. To me, it's blatantly clear that Umar Johnson does not respect black women. You're a black woman, you're his daughter. If you're not going to respect your daughter, if you can't have grace for your daughter, if you will title a video and try to tell your daughter or her mother that either one of them is the scum of the earth, you do not like black women. I think it's foul that people are actually questioning why you will want attention from your father.
I don't know if he said scum of the earth. I thought he said something like the bottom of my shoe or something like that. But I don't remember him saying scum. He may have said that, but I don't remember him saying that. If y'all remember him saying that, hit the one. I thought he said something else. But the fact that he treats his own daughter this way in this situation is indicative of the fact that he's not a caring father in the first place. Because that's not how a caring father would behave. Even if you screwed up, you wouldn't behave like this. You would take accountability, and then you would build a bridge. I keep using that term. You build a bridge back into your daughter's life. But see, what Umar has been what he's done consistently is burn bridges. Not only with his children, with his children's mothers, but then also just in the black community in general. He's burned bridges. Look at Tariq Nasheed. I don't watch Tariq Nasheed's videos. I'm not a supporter of Tariq Nasheed. I've never seen the Hidden Colors, the whole Hidden Colors or anything like that. I don't watch his YouTube page or anything like that. But he did burn a bridge with Tariq Nasheed out of jealousy. See, he wanted more money from the Hidden Colors series. Yeah, Umar, that's what he does. He burns bridges, and now here he is with an opportunity to build a bridge back into his daughter's life. But instead, what does he do? He just throws more gasoline onto it. See? Here we go.
And like to try to act like you're doing something.
Oh, he
wrong.
says, okay. Listen, I don't remember, but maybe he did say that. He said scum. I thought he said something about there something under my foot, like maybe he said scum, or I don't know. But if he said it, I'll take your word for it. I just don't remember it. We did cover the video where he made these types of statements. If he did say that, I stand corrected. Here we go.
Yes, and what hurts a lot is the fact that a lot of people was asking me to prove it. To prove that he's my dad, probably because he's this big figure. My mom did get a DNA test, but that's not something that I want to put on the internet because that's kind of private. But I did post a picture on my Instagram of me and my dad. He was holding me as a child. Umar's last name is Abdullah. So his name, to my knowledge, is Umar Abdullah Johnson. So he has two last names, but I only acquired Abdullah. I don't have.
Now think about this. See, the baby mama gave this child Abdullah. So what is Umar talking about? Because he tells the story how she didn't want to give her my last name and blah. Remember? And she had the birth certificate or whatever it was, and just wanted me to sign it, but she didn't want to give her the last name and blah, blah, blah. See how he lies? Umar's a habitual liar. Listen to what she said. Hit the one if y'all follow me on that.
The name Johnson. So yeah, it's kind of frustrating that a lot of people are asking me to prove it, which I can see why, but there's nothing to prove now.
Someone wants to know if you think your dad has ever been with a white woman, and I'll combine it with somebody else's comment. They wanted to know Is
Y'all
Umar
crazy.
really a closet colorist? Because he talks about dark chocolate black women, but you're lighter. So that's what they're wanting to know. Is he really lying about liking dark skinned women? Essentially, is he really hiding a white or light skinned woman?
So
Yeah, no, I don't see how both things can be true. Maybe you're talking about something else, but either she was given his last name or not. You can't say she was kind of given his last name, or she was given his last name but not given his last name. So maybe you're talking about something else. No, she was given the last name Abdullah, which is Umar's last name. See, but Umar says that the mama didn't want to give. He said the same thing about the second baby mama too, that she didn't want. Yeah, but that's because Umar was unwilling to. Well, we can't even say that with the first one. See, I don't know exactly. Well, I know one thing. That these baby mamas, they didn't want to deal with Umar, but she did give this baby Umar's last name. But Umar tells a whole nother story. Okay, that he's a habitual liar. But you may be talking about something else. Okay, so let's finish up. We got to get to this other lie.
The first question, I'm not sure if he's ever dated a white woman. I would assume no, because the comments that he makes and the things that he says regarding interracial relationships, he is very against black men or black women being with white men or women. So I would say probably not. And for the second question, as far as the whole colorist thing, I'm not sure. And I did hear a lot of people say, how can this be his daughter when she's so light? I would consider myself to be brown. And also when it comes to genes, two dark-skinned people can make a lighter child. So it's just, it's genes. It's all genes.
Yeah, but this doesn't make any sense. The mother could have attempted to give her last name. Then after he made a fuss, she could have changed it to his last name while in the hospital. Well, the point is that she was given Umar's last name. It's not one thing or the other. I don't get the logic here. I really don't. Okay. You may be a Umar Johnson's follower. I don't know if that's true or not, but I listen, I'm a reasonable and logical thinker. Okay. I'm not the brightest bulb in the light bulb, but I'm rational. It's either she gave the child Umar's last name or she didn't. And at the end of the day, she gave the daughter Umar's last name. And that's a statement of fact. The daughter just said that her last name is Abdullah. There's no ambiguity there. Okay. So your logic fails me. It just doesn't, it's illogical in my opinion. Okay. Here we go.
The reason they're saying that is because Umar promotes only desiring like really, really dark skinned women. This is what he promotes. And then when they're seeing you, they're like, okay, well, her phenotype doesn't match you liking dark skinned women. So they just think it's another thing that he's lying about being a colorist. But
by the way, I had said that her mother was lighter skinned, but I got her mixed up with the other baby mama. Her mother isn't a lighter skin, but the lighter skin comes from Jamal Johnson's side of the family, because Umar Johnson's great grandfather was a white Cuban, and his grandmother was extremely light skinned, and that's why Jamal Johnson has a lighter skin complexion and lighter eyes, lighter eye color, and that's how genetics work. So that, and then someone had asked, where did Umar get the last name Johnson? He got it from his father, Jamal Johnson. See, it's interesting that Jamal changes their names and gives them Muslim names, but the last name remains Johnson. Prior to that, Umar's name was Jermaine Shoemake, which was his mother's last name is Shoemake. See? It's just ironic. You're going to change their names, their first names and middle names, but then you still maintain the last name Johnson, and you give them Johnson too. So I just think that was just because Umar's the same way. It's more about power and control, and I want to have control. I want this child to have my last name, et cetera, et cetera. But meanwhile, they're both were deadbeats in essence. See, it's interesting. It's really interesting. I don't get that.
Sabrina wants to know, is there anything that Umar can do to reestablish a relationship with you?
The first thing would be to answer the questions that I have, because I do have a lot of questions for him. And after those questions are answered, if we're able to have some type of conversation, on a consistent basis, I think that would be a great start to establishing a relationship. I was told to not do interviews because it would possibly, what's the word? If he was to see this, he would probably think that I would be trying to hurt him publicly when I'm just answering questions. So I'm not really too fond of establishing a relationship with him because it's like, I'm 22 now. I already have a lot of people in my life who are supportive. But if that's something that he would want to do, I would be open to it. But it's like, I've already reached out. I've already done my part. So now I feel like he needs to do his.
Hutu and Mama said, Umar has multiple sisters. Have your aunts ever reached out to you?
One of my aunts, I think, reached out to me via Instagram DM, but I didn't get the chance to respond. And I also wonder, how many sisters does he have? I'm not sure.
I can tell you. I can tell you how many. I think altogether it's 11. Altogether siblings, it's 11. If you take in half his the children that Jamal had, he had 3 other daughters with his second wife, rest in peace. If memory serves me correct, altogether he has 5. No, he has 6 daughters because there was another child that he had prior to Umar. But then you got to factor in the mama, Barbara, had another son outside of Jamal too. And my research shows that she had a daughter prior to Umar. I just haven't been able to verify that. And she would have probably been around 15 when she gave birth to that child. I haven't confirmed that quite yet. So altogether, I would say siblings, in terms of sisters, whether it is half sisters, or if you guys want to say call it half sisters, and I can go pull it up and tell you guys for sure. But I think altogether there are 5, or there's 6, and then I think that altogether he has 4 brothers. Yeah, and I would have to go maybe 3, but I have to go back and I'll look at. I have it all outlined inside of the documentary. Anyway, it's sad that she doesn't know that side of the family. You know, here we go.
Do they know about what's going on now?
Probably.
Okay, but has any of them said anything, like reached out and been like, okay, well, you're doing this because this, that, and the third? Because we know Black women are the greatest defenders of Black men. We just know this.
I believe that one of his sisters did give me some words of encouragement.
And that's great. I do have a video of 2 women who claim to be Umar's sisters. I can pull it up and show it to y'all before we close out this live stream. If you want me to, hit the 1. I can pull it up for you all.
She was just like, step away from social media when you need to. And she was like, I'm always here if you need me. And I think she gave me her number. So yeah, she reached out.
Oh, that's nice.
That's sweet. I'm glad. Hello Kitty said, do you remember your interactions with Umar before he stopped coming around?
So
what's up, Cynthia? I can pull it up.
When I was younger, I do remember him being very strict. I remember, I think I had came home from school and he was like, you can't watch TV until you're done your homework. Like, I just remember him being very stern and very, very, very strict.
Yeah. I mean, but that's good though, that he would have been there to provide some structure and discipline through the structure. So that's good, and it's good that you did have some memories of him being a father. It's just, I think, unfortunate, that you weren't allowed to have the full benefit of him as a father. Say your last word, and then we'll leave it there.
Yes, so Cynthia, it was very amazing meeting you. Thank you everyone for tuning in and watching. Again, if you would like to see more of me, my Instagram, TikTok, and all of my other social media platforms, Cynthia did pin on the screen. And yeah, this was a great interview. This was great.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you for.
She did like this. How they do that? What am I doing? Wait. She did like this. My kids, one of my daughters be doing that. I'll be like, I'll be trying to do it. Yeah, that's cool. And Cynthia DJ did a good job, because at the end, you see how she says, well, it's good that Umar tried to bring some structure and so forth. So it's not like she's bad. She don't like Umar, but at least she gave Umar some credit right there. Okay, just a couple more seconds. I don't know if we're going to have time for this other live stream. We might have to table it until tomorrow. Let me know what you guys want to do. I already have it set up, and we can just rotate right over to it and get right on into it. If you want me to do that, hit the 1. I also have a video where Umar shows 2 women that he claims that are claiming to be his sisters. I'm gonna play that before we close out. Okay, here we go.
Coming, and I just wanted you to be able to tell your side of the story, because I see he has the platform for it. So you need to be able to tell your story as well, and for it to get out. And even if there's anything in the future that you want to come out and talk about, feel free to let me know. And definitely, the platform is here for you. We do support you here, and we have no problem rallying around you in support and love and understanding, because we definitely get it. And quiet at this camp, a lot of the people who are criticizing you, they understand it too, because they probably lived it, because this is a epidemic in our community. And so thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I wish you the best, and I wish you and your relationship with Umar the best as well. Y'all go follow her on Instagram and on TikTok as well. I don't think that this is the last that we'll hear from you. I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Oh, God.
You have a big, vibrant personality, and I do think it should be shared with the world. It should.
Thank you, Cynthia.
All right,
Bye.
All right. Okay. So real quick, let me do these super chats, and then I'll show the video where Umar's alleged sisters. There's two of them in the car, and then it looks like people do want me to continue. So what we'll do is after this, we'll go right over to the other stream, and we'll start that live stream. We'll get right on into it, and that's the main video I've been wanting to get to. Let me do this real quick. So Black Wolf says, "Whoa, so this is the baby Umar said he had to see on the grandma's couch." No, the one that's speaking that was interviewed, that's not that one. That's the second baby mama. Okay, where he says he has to have to go and sit on the grandmama's couch, because he talks about grandma. I ain't gonna say her name, and he docks their place of business, Black Wolf, which is a vegan restaurant in Philadelphia. Okay, so that's what he's talking about here. But I've heard him talk about the first baby mama and how he was on supervised visitations with that one. I've heard him say for both. Okay. And then of course he has a third baby mama that he doesn't mention. I don't know what the situation is with that one, with that baby mama is. I don't know what that, and I don't know the sex of that child. I thought it was another girl, but Umar, the way that he conflates the stories, he actually mixes things up. And for sure he has at least two daughters, but he has another child. I don't know the sex of that other child. We said there had to be abuse involved in this. Damn, Quick Crush said, called it. We called that years ago. Remember? We called that years ago. And then that's why when this daughter, the 22-year-old, the first child that he had, when she comes out and talks about how her mother was abused, I was not surprised at all. I even told people, I said, no, I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised at all. See, and Umar, he almost told on himself when he was doxing the baby mamas, and he said, people said that was some sort of domestic, and then he stops himself. He was going to say some sort of domestic violence. See, he just stopped himself from saying it, but he was going to tell on himself like he always do when he run in his mouth. But this young lady, the 22-year-old, that's not the one that he was talking about in that video. However, I heard him talk about in other videos how he had supervised visitations with both. And the only person that really can confirm for the second one, because Umar says all kind of shit, he lies all the time, is this young lady. If her mother can confirm that, or if she talks with her mother about that, and then she talks about, yeah, he was on supervised visitation. But to be clear, Umar had, they were co-parenting in the beginning, but at a certain point, Umar stopped showing up. And that's where the fallout really began. He decided to abandon his responsibilities. But then here we are 22 years later, and or not even 22 years, but almost 2 decades later. And he wants to spin a narrative that she was keeping him away from the child. That's not the case at all. Why would you keep the child away from, why would the mother keep the child away from Umar and then give the child Umar's last name? See what I'm saying? Shout out to Blackwood. Thanks for the super chat. And then the last one here was from Jewel Lee, says, signs of a good father. He always speaks on his kids and what he contributes. He talks about it when women and money never see. I think he's talking about Umar. His talks is about women and money, never his offspring. Yeah, he'll talk about money and how he needs money, how he wants money, get on your CashApp, get on your PayPal. And yeah, he'll talk about women and the crushing of the cookies and all this type of crazy freak off type of talk. That's Umar. but you don't hear him giving any type of talk about his daughters or his children and what he's doing for them and how he's interacting with them. That's because he's been a deadbeat. He don't have no stories to tell. I can tell you all kinds of stories. I can tell you stories also about the different women that I've been in committed relationships with. Umar can't give you guys stories like that at the age of 50. See? Good point, Julie. Thanks for super chat as well. And thanks again, Black Wolf. Everyone else who sent the super chats, I appreciate it. Also, thanks to the mods for handling business inside the chat room. Real quick, let me close this poll out. Then I'm going to play that video for y'all. Then we're going to be done. We're going to we're going to head on over to the next live stream. It's already queued up. Okay, so the poll question is Umar Johnson a Pookie? Okay, we have 1,578 votes so far. 90% say yes, and 10% say no. So overwhelmingly. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close that poll out. Thanks for everyone who voted on that poll. I appreciate it. And then, of course, I just want to mention we have 713 likes. My goodness gracious. Cookie Crush Chat is undefeated. I appreciate it, y'all. I really do. Here's the video that I was talking about earlier. Here we go.
Oh, yes. The Prince of Pan Africanism is going to my big sister's 60th birthday party tonight. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow for the power lecture. No bunny hoppers will be admitted into the power lecture tomorrow. So
yeah, this don't make no sense. How is she 60? She would have. Well, this could be. No, it could be Jamal Johnson's first child. Yeah, it could be. Interesting.
If we find out that you're a bunny,
or he could be just calling her sister. That's what I'm saying. You never know with Umar. He lies so much.
Bunny hopper, we taking your ticket and we giving it to a non-bunny hopping African. Now, this one thinks she cute right here. Yeah.
It looked like him. It looked like that could be his sister to me, don't it?
Y'all see my little sister thinks she cute right here. See her? Melanin drip. She getting married tonight. And the one back here performing at the Grammys.
Yeah. Is that a screwdriver? Yeah.
That one looked like him too. But why are they over in Europe though? That don't make no sense.
That's the screw.
Allegedly. They look like each other, don't they? They really do look like each other. Again, Umar lies so much. They do. I ain't gonna lie. They look like each other. They really do. Y'all, if y'all think these are his sisters, hit the 1. If you think that it's not, hit the 2. If you think that one of them's the sister, the other one's not, hit the 3. Okay. It just don't make no sense. He says 60th birthday. I don't get that. I got to go look at my timeline and go see when Jamal Johnson, when his first child was born. It wouldn't be a 10-year difference. I would have to go look it up. I would have to look it up. Okay. look, someone said they should tell him to stop. Okay, thank y'all so much for tuning on in. I appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and start this next live stream. I'm not going to have much time for that next live stream, though. I don't know. We'll get further into this. There's a video that came out too from the 14th. That's this one right here. Hold on one second. Let me see. I don't think Umar says. I don't think he says anything. I don't think he says anything inside this video. So let me just skip through real quick. Yeah, he don't say nothing. There we go. They was probably roasting him inside his chat room. Yeah, so I just wanted to play this just so that we can get this out the way. This is from the 14th. Okay, so we're almost caught up here. In the next live stream, we're gonna get into the main event video. I don't even know if we're gonna have enough time to get through all, but we'll at least start it. Okay. Shout out to the Quick Crush Chat. Thank you to the mods for handling business. Thanks to everyone who sent in super chats. I appreciate it. If you sent in CashApp or PayPal, thank you so much. My CashApp and PayPal information listed down below in the description of this video. And again, if you enjoyed this live stream, make sure you hit that like button. There's 727 likes already. So thank you all so much. And as we always do.
Bells in front of bells, coming for the dreaming. And run stepping in bed, that nigga who's screaming. Did it from money and alcohol, the feed of the best five balls and jump and superstar. I took the body, and rhythm died. College with the champion. That's right. What we do. Them can now lift up the two. Them can give it a go down.
welcome.
So listen to me like a slow jam. It's West Side, so you know that I'm bad down to no man. To the man, put it up on beat from Dre. To the root of the leg. From Oakland to West Side. To back down. Show me love.
Umar, wow. All right, thank y'all so much for tuning on in. If you have time, head on over to the other live stream. We're going to start that in about 3 minutes. Quick Chris Hats Undefeated. Thank y'all so much for tuning on in. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll be seeing y'all very, very soon. All right, love y'all. Take care. Peace.